All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to, I believe, class 5 of the Painter's Palette, Color and Light, Painting with Emotion. And we are getting towards the back end of our class. So this is actually, and you guys are all going to breathe a deep sigh of relief. This is going to be our last lesson full class. Next week, we're going to review and we're going to be beginning our final assignments. In fact, today's class is going to lead in towards our final assignment so that we have this week, next week to work on it. And then on the 7th week, we'll actually review it because I've made that mistake so many times where we actually don't get a chance to look at everybody's wonderful work. And we have covered a lot. I've got ask from a couple of you to kind of give us a overview. And so that's what we're going to be starting with next week is kind of, I would love for you guys to review the handouts, and there's a lot. I really try to make them 1 page, and then they're 2 pages, and then I'm like, what the heck, let's just do 3 and 4 pages each handout. And so it is a lot of information. But I think it's been a lot of fun and a lot of just exploration. I think that, again, if each one of you picks 1 or 2 or 3 lessons that really stands out and is important to you, that will be the thing. And so as we're going forward, I would love to have you guys thinking about your final assignment, your final painting, your final project that you would like to work on, which could be anything that we've studied and anything that you would like to explore and move forward with. Does that make sense, Diane Lewis? Perfect. All right, great. So let's go ahead and jump over straight away to our Padlet. Great. Everybody, 1, 2, 3 sees the Padlet?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I included a bonus video. And I'm going to try to share that in a different format because it kind of looks small when I share it on Padlet. But this was something we did during last Thursday's class. It's just a short 40-minute, versus the 4-hour lessons that we normally do. Me just basically attacking a painting that was kind of good, but never good enough, and just kind of going crazy on it. And I would actually like to get your feedback if that's something maybe you'd be interested in me continuing to work on, so that I can introduce sky, I can introduce how I would carve back into shapes, do reflections. And I thought that might be a lot of fun. So we'll revisit this here in a little bit.
I love that idea. Just my vote. I haven't even seen it yet.
But it definitely needs reworking. Look at that thing. Ugh. Online links. I've put a link to the mentorship program. And then I put more and more descriptors. Everybody had a lot of good questions about what it is. It will be a group of about 6 of us, so a much smaller class. I think we have 18 in this one, and a little more singularly focused. I'm also on my website, michaelorwick.com, offering one-on-one lessons. So you would get better value, more time with this, but the other one you'll get one-on-one lessons for only a little bit less money, I guess, or a little bit more money. So things to think about, and feel free to just reach out. I'm still trying to work all of this out. What happened this year was that we thought we were going to be traveling to Eastern Europe for quite a while. I will not be going. So I'm freeing up my summer and filling it up very quickly, very quickly. So anyways, that's what happened there. My wife and my mother-in-law will go to Eastern Europe without my daughter and me, and I'll be home with my daughter, which will be super fun. And yeah, great to have her home from college for the summer. Class handout. So the luminosity and temperature keys for landscape painting. Again, I really try, you guys, to make it a 1 or 2 page handout. But what I wanted to do was include the sky elements as well as what we didn't cover last week. So the second half of this is, in fact, a bit of a repetition. Lisa and Mange both wrote me a question, which makes me feel good because people are actually reading it, but feel bad because I should be proofreading it a little bit better. I had a repetition of, what was the question, Lisa?
The value being similar, making the colors shimmer if they're cool and warm.
Perfect.
I'm butchering it,
Yep.
but
Here. So color luminosity, vibration. That was the big word in this sentence. Where glow comes from. One of the most reliable ways to create a sense of glow in a painting is through value control, not through cranking up saturation. Does that make sense to people?
Yeah.
So we're not talking about strong colors. We're talking about keeping the values within their families. So luminosity occurs when warm and cool colors are nearly equal in value. And I know that's where I lose people.
Yeah. It's hard to see. And I had a whole class on that.
It's really hard to see. Yeah.
It's very difficult to see.
And I think that's why Monet gets to be Monet, right? This is a lot about the Impressionists and how they're using, vibration within color. And we'll go forward here in just a second because I went ahead and responded to Lisa's question, and Lisa had more questions, and then I went ahead and no, that's all right. I had nothing to do. I'm kidding with you, Lisa. And Mange also was asking the same questions. So it was me not being clear and not proofreading my own work. So I apologize for that. When the values are close, the temperature differences become more visible. That is the key. That is the thing. That is what makes Monet Monet. When you turn a Monet painting into a black and white, it becomes very flat. But nobody ever thinks of Monet's paintings as flat, right, or a good impressionist. So it is within the color and temperature, not the values. And that's a big counterpoint to how I teach, right? I teach values first very heavily. And so that's where I think I've contaminated my lessons. You're right. But Monet, go ahead.
Do you think that that would be a good lesson to have on this very subject? Because it is quite confusing.
It is absolutely confusing.
Yeah, and it would be nice to understand it a bit better. My brain goes into a fog.
Would you? Yeah, me too. Would you guys be willing to let me teach that lesson next week, even though I'm already going to be having you start your final assignments?
Yeah. I'd rather have you have time to prepare it well too. I think that's a really important lesson too.
And it's ultra confusing. It is one of those like fine differences that takes, a beautiful painting into a really exceptional painting. And then Lisa, beautiful Lisa, bless her soul, asked me to use some of my own artwork as examples in this lesson. I was like, I'm not that good yet. I don't have that many examples of my own work that do this. So I will have to revert to, the Impressionists, and maybe I can find examples of my own work, and maybe it's something I can attempt to demo next week. But it is something I'm trying. It's kind of that next step. So I feel like this is a lesson for my more advanced students, or for the students that are ready to take that next step. So I should have probably edited this out. And it's something I'm still trying to comprehend. So yeah, I think it could be a lot of fun next week. I just picture my next week just me planning this lesson every day. So,
but yeah, I think I spend a lot of time looking at your paintings, and so I think even if you can find one or two, that will be really helpful, because Monet for me has, I don't know, it's just different. And yeah.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, and that's because Monet was not painting with much transparency. He was not value first, he was color first.
Okay.
But he's not, we think of Monet's paint, well, we'll get to it. All right. So I'm just going to finish this I'm going to finish this section, and then I put up a whole thing. So
cool. Thank you.
This is why painters like Monet, Ennis. So Ennis is a tonalist painter, right? So you don't have to be a colorist. Bunker, who I actually don't know much of his work, but he comes up in a lot of examples, could make muted colors shimmer. So when I'm talking about luminosity in this, again, think about vibration. It's that weird excitement where, we've all seen it, right, Nyla, where you're standing far away from a painting and you see all these colors. And then when you get up close, all the colors are broken up into little pieces. And we see this like optical mixing is the best term I have for it. And it just creates this, your brain kind of can't comprehend. So it just kind of bounces. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, because I have seen some paintings that the water really does seem to shimmer. It's like it's moving. And sometimes I'll blink my eyes because I'll think that this is something that somebody has, put on.
Yeah, it's like a weird, it's almost animated. Yeah.
Yes. And, but it's, it's the paint, but it appears that it's moving because there's almost a wiggle in it.
That's why I call it a vibration.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Doesn't it have to do with, the one thing you can't accomplish when you're doing a value painting is complementary colors. So you don't get the vibration. You can't put red and green together, opposed to each other, or yellow or purple next to each other in a value painting. And that's what's causing the vibration.
Are you saying you can or you cannot?
In an underpainting, if I'm using just grays or just burnt
right, so it would be
cannot get the vibration that I would be getting if I was using complementary colors, for example, or warm and cool colors, for an example, because gray.
That is exactly right. So that's
the difference that we're talking about.
Right. That's why Monet, when you desaturate him, looks flat.
Correct. He's using complementary colors next to each other. They could be the same value.
I think
they almost have to be the same value, which is the difficult part.
I think the hard thing is that it's very difficult to tell the color's value. It's just really hard. You look at red and you really just can't believe it's either light or dark.
Yeah, so like an example I will use is the darkest yellow next to a blue, like a pure chromo yellow, pure color blue. The yellow is innately so much lighter, right? You just can't make a dark yellow because it becomes another color.
But you can make a light blue.
Exactly. So that's where it happens, is the making them in the equal value. And okay, let me design it. That'll be a good challenge for me, because this is something I can definitely work on as an artist, and maybe the next area I would love to work on. And I have lots of ideas in my brain about what if I could do this with transparent paint. Oh boy, wouldn't that be something? And I've even had multiple talks with Gamblin Paints about how would I do impressionist paintings with transparent paint, because as soon as you add transparency, right, it starts to darken, it starts to pull up the colors beneath it. Imagine just putting lots of layers of stained glass on top of each other. You just get dark, right, eventually.
And you get mud.
So how can I do that? Yeah. I don't know if Okay, so that's going to be the question for next week.
So that might be an idea for if you're just hanging around and are totally bored and would like to earn, more money this summer.
If you wanted to put together like a little thing, even a day or two or whatever, just on that, there might be people who would go, oh, me, I'll sign up.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be a part of that class. That'd be great.
You could almost make that part of your color theory class.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why it's worth, and I do think it's kind of my next evolution, because I think I can do value first, value heavy, and then bring in these other elements. In fact, I'm hoping to do some of that in today's demo. So here's the example that I shared with dear, beautiful Lisa, and talking about Monet's painting. So we can definitely tell there's light coming through, right? The sky is vibrating. You see the bounce of color and the lights and the darks and the warms and the cools, even though they're very, very close in value, right? The same thing within this tree, right? You see, we know there's a light source. It's subtle, it's soft. Like this tree is a little more evident. It has a bit of a dark, but it's not a strong, strong dark. It's not a strong, strong light. All right, so watch what happens when I turn it to black and white. You see how it just flattens out into areas? You see, this tree had so much life and energy, had a light and a dark. And of course, we can see into the strong darks versus the stronger lights, but even the lights are not very light. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, is how that's another way. And I think maybe vibrance and glow is the wrong word. I should have said vibration, or should have really focused on that.
Yeah, because those are complementary colors in the same tone.
Same value. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, same value.
Yep.
This is Brett. There's another word I use, and I call it resonance.
Okay.
Yeah,
explain that.
It's a very technical term, but it does where something resonance is in where vibrations like two waves can augment each other. So it's to me it's vibration is kind of, but to me resonance works a lot better. But I do that a lot in my figure painting. So
yeah, I'll have to figure out that term. Maybe you and I can have a discussion, because I'd love to figure out what that actually means. I know resonance for music and, sound, but I don't know it for visuals.
Wouldn't it be similar?
I imagine.
Similar. It's just wavelengths.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it is. And yeah, I mean, I've told you guys this story about when Portland Art Museum got their first big Monet water lily painting, and our daughter was 3, maybe 4 years old, and they had a whole room, and it was just on the wall, and everybody came out to see it. It was a big deal for Portland, and our daughter just kept running forward and going, like, right up next to the painting, going, "It's nothing." And then running back to the back of the room going, "It's water lilies." And she did it over and over. And I mean, that's it. Like, if we were able to zoom in on this, it's just, it's just splatters of paint, splatters of color. It's broken, but together it creates a thing. And together it creates light and shadow. And even in the sky, warmth and coolness and, air. And that's, again, I love tonalists and I love impressionists, and they're almost polar opposites, right? It's value versus color. It's, and so as I progress in my work, I would love to include both, right? And figure out what that means. So, and there are some impressionists that maybe I can refine that have done a good job of that. So does that make sense, you guys?
Yeah. So are you talking kind of like about George Seurat? Kind of like what he did?
Well, he was.
I imagine so, but yeah, again, with Seurat, you even have to blur your eyes more, right? But Seurat was the guy who did the pointillism, the the monkey in the park and with the umbrellas. Cool stuff.
I don't want to go down another rabbit hole, but impressionists. The whole point of the impressionistic movement was to observe light and how the light bounced off one thing or another. They weren't concerned with value at all. They focused just on the light.
Well, yeah, they were focused just on light, but in order to get that, they had to focus on value, didn't they?
They accomplished value.
They would say they did not.
Correct. What they did was focus on complementary color. They used a complementary color to give the illusion of value, which is why they're impressionistic.
And they said they weren't even painting objects.
Right.
They were not. They were painting the air and the illusion of the air between us and these objects, and how the light worked within the air. Which, yeah, was so wishy-washy to me when I started studying that in college. That all of a sudden I realized that the California Impressionists were studying that plus form.
Yes.
And that made way more sense to me.
The Impressionists were primarily interested in color.
Yeah.
And they had discovered the science of color, and they felt they had discovered the science of color.
And there was a whole lot of new colors that were readily available. They didn't have to have a whole staff mixing their colors. They had portable colors for the first time.
Right.
So they could take them outside. They were also, instead of painting religious scenery, for a big benefactor church, they were able to paint what they saw and capture that for the first time. So it's really interesting. I love the history of all this.
It was a revolution.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Portable paints. We just take that so for granted.
So would you say Cezanne,
absolutely
he's more sculptural in his work.
Right. And he was thinking directional, the direction of movement, the direction of form as well.
So I have a little tale to tell. I saw a big show, I think it was in France, of the academicians and the impressionists, and they had room to room. You could go from the academicians who did careful studies in the classic realism, and then you'd have the impressionists. And the singular thing that everybody always talks about is the light and the impressionists, how brilliantly light color, white is but when you go to look at them side by side with the academic paintings were far whiter. The whites were far whiter. And there was some studies I had read about that it was precisely the tube paints they all began to have, that the white that they used in those tubes lost something, some mineral or something, so their whites were duller. In fact, when you see the paintings all by each other, the whites are dull. And the academic whites are white. So they lose something, it must have been the paint. That's what they said. They thought the tubes themselves had made the whites not stand up as well. It's a thought.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's really interesting. And you can watch throughout history when all of a sudden a new color comes out, and it's usually for like automobiles or for war machines or, where it gets mass produced, and all of a sudden they have this new pigment that's available, and that it really changes things. So,
and when they stop using it, it goes away. There's a gold that went away that everybody used for a long time, and they stopped making gold colored cars because they weren't popular anymore.
And quinacridone red almost went away.
Out there, yeah.
And manganese blue is, I was reading about it. Something happened where they were trying to get like an iron pigment or something and make it less toxic, and then it turned into manganese. So there you go.
Yeah, and how we rediscover colors. And then I love like reading about articles where they show the old version of the color and the new recreated synthetic version. And a lot of times I like the synthetic version, including the manganese. I love Eloise's computer. The manganese version of the new manganese is so much more vibrant than the old manganese. But a lot of artists demand the old manganese or think it's so much better, but it's really, really weak. Anyways, so there's my thoughts on that, with a bit of help from me copying and pasting from other things that I read this morning. And I will represent this. Does this seem like something you guys would be interested in next week, doing kind of an overall impressionist
yes
quick lesson? Okay, great. All right. Let's skim across, skim across, skim across, skim across. Actually, if it's okay, Alicia, I'm going to start at the other end because I think we started with the A's last week. So we'll start with Regini and come backwards. And we're just going to do a quick, I always say that, review of your guys' work from this week. It looked like you guys had a lot of fun, except for mine, Jay, who painted a very rainy day.
Oh, I'd have been tempted to do that.
Oh, I'm always tempted to do that. All right. Beautiful. It's a little more washy. Is this mostly glazes, Regini?
Yeah, initially I glazed it and then I wanted to do with opaque colors, but somehow it was so wet, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. Yeah, especially if you put them on thick or add too much medium, it can really be hard to paint.
Yeah, there was a little bit more oil, and so I had to stop. I just didn't finish it.
Sorry, we have my wife is gone for the day, so I'm letting my dog in and out of my studio over and over. She prefers my wife to me, unfortunately. So.
Oh, you haven't told your wife that you're taking
okay,
the
she's
summer?
not here, comes in, lays with me, and then, oh, but maybe she's here. Better go look. So what's that?
You haven't told your wife you're taking the summer off to teach us, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm not going to go visit her family in Bulgaria. I got to hang out with my friends. Okay, so yeah, Regini, it is a lot of learning about how much medium, how much paint thinner, transparent paint versus opaque paint. And it does include, so since last week, I'm looking around my studio and I can count 10 paintings that I've touched because of the glazes. And I'm just trying to fix up a bunch of paintings that were not quite great, but maybe I can make them better with glazes. With a bit of opaque color. And so when glazing, especially with oils versus acrylics, you do have to be patient, unfortunately. So, I think you're getting better about working on multiple paintings at a time. Whereas I think when we first met, you were just one painting, weeks, right? Correct?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's a really good lesson that if you're going to be using glazes, meaning paint, transparent washes over, but the colors are beautiful, right? I love this blue versus this yellow versus this green, these golds. Like you're really in the right direction.
Yeah.
It just feels a little bit wishy-washy and, it just doesn't feel like a Regini painting because I think you like the density of your color and the opacity of your paint. But I think this is a great tool that you can add to your skill set, to your tools. And yeah, I'd be very curious. So did you have fun? What were you learning about this?
Yeah, and I also felt that maybe gesso was giving me problem in the glazing. I had like 4 coats of gesso on my canvas. So it was not it was absorbing a lot of, somehow it was not smooth.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times, with artists that do a lot of glazing and stuff, they will actually kind of sand down a layer of their paint, which I've never done. It just seems, I know a friend, Ramona Youngquist, will do that a little bit. She goes back in and sands down. And so, yeah, you can see like the brush strokes of the gesso underneath.
I end up doing that quite a bit sometimes if it just starts getting thicker in some areas. Like I've had to do that a couple of times with the crown because it's like so geometric that if I get it wrong and then I just keep trying to fix it, you can really see all of the little bumps and ridges and things. And I've noticed that with gesso, I can sand it down and it's totally fine. But then if I try and sand on top of the paint and take a layer away, it's never even. Like there's always going to be a little bit left over. So I only really do it if there's like an emergency.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. Because yeah, my friend Ramona, she'll end up, using palette knife. Like she'll end up painting quite opaquely in those areas. And everybody knows what I mean when I say transparent versus opaque. Just a quick head nod. I can see all of you. Okay. So, if you have areas like that, maybe you didn't want this to be so light, right?
Yeah.
Then maybe you just have to literally just add white paint to it, or, mix the color and put it on top. A lot of times this is my underpainting. Right. And it seems like, oh man, I've taken 2 steps to get to here. Was that useful? And sometimes it's not. Sometimes I get so lucky, I just paint, a painting all at once, 45 minutes, and I knock it out. But other times it's really helpful for me to figure out my design, my values, then think about my colors and temperatures. And then literally at this stage, I'll paint over it, which is again, a little bit about what the demo is going to be today. But very nice work. Thank you, Regini.
Thank you.
And I'm, you're already like successfully doing what you do. So I appreciate when somebody's willing to try new tools and new ideas. And just because it's fun and it's interesting, and what I'm hoping is you're not saying, I don't want to paint like this. I'm hoping what you'll say is, here's tools I can use. And sometimes even with a finished, thicker, more opaque paint, you can glaze into it in areas.
Yeah.
All right, Manjay.
Ooh, that's
a mess.
Who's been a busy lady this week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Holy cow. Okay. Manjay, what are you doing? Don't you sleep?
No, oh, no, perpetual insomnia. Yeah, it was fun, but that's when I really messed it up, like very badly.
Doesn't even want to let me click it. That's how much you messed it up. Okay, there we go. Are you guys seeing this green and red bar here?
Where?
Okay, yeah, good. That means you're not seeing it. I have toolbars that keep popping up for my Zoom. And I was just making sure you didn't see them on the screen. Great. So I know we talked a little bit about this, that it felt like the tree just felt separate because it's the only time you're using this brush and making these marks, but still a beautiful scene and really well designed. Nice colors. So then you came in, started adding some warms and cools and greens and purpley grays, I guess. And then I like what you did with the tree. Is this the same exact painting or did you do another one?
Oh, it's the same.
Wow. So you really fixed the tree up to make it feel like it's part of the scene.
Yeah. That's part of the success. I had fun with the other one though. This is, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I want to do what I wanted to do. And I don't even know what I wanted to do.
Oh man, you kids. But yeah, I like it. I mean, I know what I intended to do with the purples and pinks, and mine never worked out. I will have to revisit it, but haven't yet. But I like this. I mean, it makes a nice, interesting image. Yeah, I mean, the warms feel a wee bit hot. Like I think they're a little bit too strong, but it could be in the photo and the glare.
True. It's like a short summit because it didn't work. It just didn't work.
Not quite, but you can glaze the whole thing and it'll all of a sudden harmonize again. Wait for it. Yeah. Hey, Manjay, your microphone is not working very well.
I know. It's weird. I gotta get my computer or my laptop fixed. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. If you lean forward, unfortunately, sorry, that doesn't look comfortable, but
no, that's okay. I can do that.
Yeah.
I had fun with this one though.
Have you tried connecting your microphone to your beard? I find that helps. But yeah,
Oh,
like
God.
this is a lot more interesting. And again, if we're thinking about like this as an underpainting, because again, you can see all the texture of the canvas and the spottiness, but what you have is a beautiful harmony, right? You started the painting with just values and you really knocked those in. You figured out your big shapes, then you glazed in and figured out kind of your undercolors. And now you can come back over if you want. And you can do all this. It feels again like, oh man, I'm doing 3 steps versus 1. But sometimes it actually is faster because you're making it work each stage of the way.
Yeah, that was fun. This one, that felt good.
And this one could be done as it is. It has a beautiful earthy harmony to it. Yeah, nice colors. Anybody else have anything to say real quick? So again, I realize I'm already doing 5 minutes on each student and we don't have that time. Great. All right, Nyla.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's like a beautiful nocturne, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
you.
Oh, nice.
I love your tree shapes.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would almost like to glaze this in purples or blues, purples, turquoisey greens, and then a little bit of pink and a little bit of cool yellow, and but keep the light really little and the rest of it really cool. I think, yeah, it's not where I was expecting to go with it, but what a beautiful opportunity, I think.
Yeah.
What were you
Very
thinking?
pretty.
I should have not suggested what are you thinking about, Nyla? Are you going to leave it as a black and white? It's also a gorgeous black and white.
Well, actually, it's kind of a greenish color. It's kind of a greenish blue. It didn't print it didn't come
Photograph,
across, yeah, as that, but it's actually a bluish green. And I've got it right behind me. I don't know if it would show up.
Here, let me see if I can spotlight you as well.
Okay,
Is it acrylic or oil?
It is an oil glaze on top of
Oh,
the black
yeah.
and white.
What
Oh, you
color
already
did you
did it.
glaze
Okay.
with?
Oh.
Are you guys seeing a second spotlight for Nyla?
No.
No.
Okay, give me one more second. Let's see. Huh. Says I've added her as a second spotlight. Well, actually, I guess if you just talk, Nyla, I apologize.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah. Very
Lean
nice.
it forward, the top forward a little bit. There you go.
Okay, yeah, because it's picking up that overhead light.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I would love to see like a real just soft pink around where the clouds are clearing and the sun and the moon is showing or whatever that is. Yeah, I think it's lovely. I think,
Well, thank you.
I mean, yeah, I'm really thinking about doing a small series of like 4 or 6 of these black and whites for my next show just to see how people like them. And or just doing what you did there and just adding a very minimal kind of glaze over it, and that looked really great.
Well, thank you.
And I've got to praise you, like this tree right here.
Looks
I would
so
love,
nice.
I want that in my painting, and this texture and over here, and great job.
Well, I have to tell you, that was a chip brush tray.
Well, your chip brush is better than my chip brush. I should have went for the 38-cent brush and not the 35-cent brush. All right, Lisa, are
do you want to see the others,
this.
Michael?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure. Yeah. I apologize. Oh, goodness. Yeah. And now all of a sudden it feels like a Nyla painting again.
Beautiful it is.
Very
My
pretty.
God.
And then there's another one that's on with that one.
Why are you trying to rush us?
Well, yeah, you don't have that much time to spend on each person.
Yeah, but this is really great. Lovely.
That's beautiful.
Gorgeous. It was up there with the other one.
Oh,
just have
I'm
to
sorry.
scoot
Yeah, I
over.
forget we can do that now.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh,
Those are
nice.
dog trees.
There it is.
Yeah, I painted it Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday morning when I walked past it, I glanced at it, and I thought, oh no, I have painted dog trees. I have a
You know what?
schnauzer
I
looking
love
at
it.
a lop-eared dog.
I love the
Very
motion and
nice.
movement. For me, this tree, the red in it, the warmth, which I don't mind a little bit of it, but it feels hot. Like on the backside shadow, I would come back in and add a little bit of cool color, with a small brush just on the backside, away from the light. Otherwise, it feels a little bit like what we were talking about with mine, Jace, is it feels a little bit like a sticker, kind of out of place.
Yeah, and I felt that way too, and I kept asking my family. I said, "Do you think I need to put some little tender green leaves, coming out like it's just beginning to bud out?" And everybody said, "No, leave it alone, leave it alone." But
no, and I agree
sticks
with
out
them.
to me too.
But it's the warmth. See, even the darks in it are warm, whereas all the other darks are cool.
Yeah.
So if you just cool down the darks on the side away from the light, it'll fall back into place. And then what mine Jay did, I believe, was kind of to soften some of the edges a little bit, so it creates the same.
Right.
Yeah, it's always difficult when you have something with a lot of detail, let's say a figure or, this, or a sign with words on it. Oh, that's the worst. Is how do you make it fit into the painting, right? So that's it. I mean, it's a gorgeous painting, beautiful colors. I wish my colors had turned out even close to this.
It almost looks like a watercolor sky.
Really does. Yeah. And then kind of the underpaintings, and back to this one. But yeah, I mean, your black and whites. Nyla, I don't think you always need to paint an undercolor, a value study underneath your paintings. I think you're kind of, you understand values and colors a little better than some of us. But I really think it's working out for you, and they're really beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, so here we can see the beginning of the tree coming in, and what I'm going to ask for you to do is experiment a little bit more with your brush strokes so that it's not so similar from the top to the bottom, tip to the trunk, tip to the trunk. And I know you did change that. I know that's just your underlying design.
Yeah, that was just to place it.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, exactly. But what you're going to want to do is just kind of figure out how to lift the brush a little bit, lift the brush, load it, and let it kind of spill off. Yeah, lovely, lovely textures. And yeah, my only hesitancy is the hesitancy in teaching you guys this technique of doing these black and whites is sometimes you just get such gorgeous textures and interesting brush marks that we end up protecting them. And that is my biggest issue, is just going, okay, this is just this stage. I've got to be brave in the next stage as well. I find that when we are protecting a thing, again, I remember back to when I was teaching children's classes, and we'd be doing portraiture, and this girl would be like, I just drew the best eye I've ever drawn. Right. And the whole rest of the portrait, all that lady's doing, or that young girl's doing, is trying to protect that eye. Right. And so we have to be willing to just keep moving forward. And I think one of the worst things we can do sometimes is making a beautiful painting early on in the painting. Right. But it also hurts to be making an ugly painting for 2/3 of the painting have it turn out. So it's that fine line that it's a bit of a dance. Yeah. Great job. Thank you, Nyla.
That's that just reminded me of exactly why we don't use erasers in any of my classes. I call them contraband, and they are banned, because if you know that you're going to spend a lot of time at the beginning trying to make it perfect and everything, you're going to want to be rubbing things out constantly, and you just can't move past that first little sketch. So anytime somebody wants to rub something out in the very beginning of the lesson, I tell them no, and that they have to earn their erasers. So they have to explain to me why they want to use it, and then I always appoint a warden of the erasers every class. So the first kid who gets really good at like holding themselves back from rubbing everything out, as soon as they earn it, I'm like, okay, now everybody ask this kid. So that one has to go over to the other person's work and look at it and go, yeah, you've earned it. And then they only get to use it once, and then they have to earn it again.
Wow.
I'm hardcore. I'm hardcore, but it works.
It sounds horrible. That's so mean.
I know, but they love it. They love a sense of like, I'm the boss. I'm the warden now. I get to give permission. So it makes everybody see it. Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it in some of Don Rameson's underpaintings, where he's very sketchy and loose, and then part of that becomes part of the painting. And I like that idea. And when you're painting with acrylics or oils and stuff, it's more difficult. So. All right, Lisa, sure. Looks like you evened out your ground plane, evened out your water. Yeah, it feels much less like it's going down a hill. There's Lisa here. There's Lisa.
Yep. I'm
Great.
here.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what you did here.
By 3 a.m, some things looked fine and some things looked ridiculous. And it's kind of an out of body experience at that point.
You're preaching to the choir right now.
I would get really frustrated and fed up and think, okay, I'm just going to do this. And then I would take a picture of it and go, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. So, I don't know. But I feel like the distances are off.
Right.
But
I feel like your values are reading really well. Like you got your strong warms up front, and it gets cooler, lighter, airier as you move back. I think there's a lot of great things going on here.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I didn't get very much sleep.
No, so that's okay.
I'm kind of looking at it with new eyes going, well, that's interesting. I don't remember doing that, but cool. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say Eloise is the only person that gets to paint at 3 a.m. But that's Australia.
It's a lifestyle.
She's painting upside down as well. So
yes. Yeah.
I think this is coming along. I think you made a lot of nice modifications. I think, if it were mine and I was to revisit it, I would come back and reestablish some values. I think things kind of got washed out a little bit, but at the same time, I think it's really reading. It's airy, and maybe because you painted it 3 a.m, it is a little dreamy in a strange way. It's nice. And I think it's coming along. I think, you're establishing you've got a light source. You've got a lot of things kind of figured out. So I think next week's class, where we're talking about warms and cools within the values and everything else, I think that'll be useful. But I would urge you to start another painting. I think this one is worked out a little bit, and let's go to the next one.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of lost the diva. That was the thing that kind of frustrated me. And then when I tried to reclaim it, it was not there. So
if I remember correctly, there was people here, cars here. Like this had a lot of different elements, and you've really simplified and cleaned it up and kind of interesting.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, no, great. I'm ready to move on. Totally.
Right.
Thank you.
I free you from this painting.
Thank you.
All right. Here's some beautiful purples and pinks and grays and blues. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, I really like how you took the motif and really made it your own and changed it. And
fields of flowers instead of grass. Pretty much.
So pretty.
Yeah, and these purple
Mhm.
transitions, and then you brought those purples down into here, and then you even brought hints of those colors down into the road. The big dark form to build off. This area here down low, I'm not positive because of how where the horizon is, but I really love like this transition as it goes across into the shadows. A little bit of backlight and glow here. Yeah, this is what I was kind of hoping for more from my painting. And maybe when I revisit it, you know, I'll be able to do that. But yeah, this is nice. Beautiful colors. Okay, so this is a great example. Thank you. Wonderful. So this is where mine is at right now, right? It's just kind of the washes over the top and everything else. So tell me, how did you decide where to paint opaquely, where to paint transparently, how to use, you know, what did it feel like a waste of a step, like unnecessary?
No, I felt like it was a color map for me.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah. And my battle this week was with that stupid Amazon cheapo canvas. It was
see it everywhere.
Drove me crazy. And I said, well, I'm gonna do.
And they always have those weird little speckles.
Oh, yeah. Horrible. Why did I pick that up? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know why.
You saved $1.
I was determined to win. So I did a lot of palette knife. I did a lot of really thick, which I don't usually do. That's not generally my style. So it was good exercise. It was good to try something different.
I love the fact that you and Gail are kind of on this very similar path of like what you're working with, what you're working against, and what you're kind of chasing. And, you know, you guys both started as such tonalists and so thin, and now you're adding paint. And I even think that's the same path I'm on a bit is, you know, just compare that difference of the wishy-washy texture. You know, and you still have some of that texture showing, but what a difference. Again, I'm going to go back. So just observe this sky.
And the tree. It's much more alive.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So again, a lot of times I'm thinking of these as stages. Please, who's going to say something?
This is Gail. What I do like about this one is your little tree mass on the right-hand side, you know, the one that Michael pointed out on the painting above.
Yeah.
That it seems to work better on this painting.
Falls back better. Yeah.
Yeah, it does fall back better, and there's more lost edges in it, I think.
Right.
So it keeps the focal point where you want it.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, I'm an hour into this painting or 2 hours into this painting because I did the value map, I've done the color mapping. You know, it's like, oh, you know, I don't want to spend more time, and it has beautiful elements, but it rarely ends up worse if I just keep working on it for a little bit and kind of planning it. So yeah, this is a great example. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Also beautiful.
That's
right? Like I actually like this better than stage 2, but I like stage 3 better than stage 1. Right? And it feels like you've kind of taken a black and white and ruined it at stage 2, and you're just like, oh, why didn't I just leave it? This was great. And then you get to stage 3 and you're like, that's why, because it's
is that acrylic, Linda?
The final the black and white was acrylic. And then the second stage was oil glaze. And then third stage, I came in with, you know, pretty heavy paint for me. Heavy for me.
Oil paint?
Oil paint, yes.
That gel matte or matte gel, that acrylic matte gel that I put on my black and white kind of smoothed out the canvas a little bit.
Did it? Yeah, that's a good tip.
The only problem that I'm going to have to work on with that matte gel is that I can see the streaks of where I put it on. I'm going to have to
you can
learn
that. The
You can
acrylic.
thin it. I also hit it with a soft brush sometimes.
Yeah, that would help definitely. But it did, I could tell right away that it made a big difference in seeing the canvas underneath.
All right, gang. Are you okay if we take? I want to keep looking at everybody's work, but I need a 5-minute break. My wife actually is now leaving, so I've got to go take care of a puppy real quick and refill a coffee. Are you guys okay if we take a 5-minute break?
Go.
Okie doke. Let me figure out. There it is.
Oh,
Beautiful work, everybody.
That paint thing to the Padlet. Or not.
Can't hear you, Nyla, if you're talking to us.
I just said, I hope you're not seeing a big me on the screen right now.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Now I've got to figure out how to get me back up there in the.
No, he has to do that.
Okay. All right. Well,
you can
once
just
I'm
drape
back, I'll get him to fix it.
Drape a curtain over it.
Yep.
I put that article from Just Paint on the almost double primary, whatever they called it. I put the how to look it up on the Padlet.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So it's just they have a couple of really interesting things about different palettes that they use. They have one that's all based on 3 colors, and it's interesting.
So, somewhat unrelated to everything right now, kind of calling back to earlier, I'm not sure what Michael's going to be doing in the next season of lessons and whatever, but I am actually going to be starting a little paint together group over Zoom. So I'll put the details up. It might be a little bit tricky now that my computer is having problems with me, but that's okay. I've never lost an argument, so I'm sure that making it a physical argument is not going to be any different. But I don't know what time to really do it, because if I'm going to try something in my most productive hours, because I find that I get so much done when I just have somebody else around staring at me. So if I have like 20 people doing that, I am unstoppable in this class.
What time do you come into the start of this class?
Well, when daylight savings ends for you guys, or starts for you guys, I think it's like I wake up at 1:30-ish. Right now it's 4:30. What time is it there? It's 10:30 there. So it's like 3 o'clock. It's like 3 in the morning that I sort of log in and jump on Zoom.
Well, you could make it later.
Yeah.
Here when I come on noon, 12:30, when I come on the East Coast. So a few hours later, I think wouldn't be too bad.
Because I usually seem, as funny as it might sound, I am kind of a morning person, but it's not out of like, oh yeah, I prefer working in the morning. It's more that like if I have caffeine, I am full of like inspiration. So I was even thinking, like, we usually get up at 6 in the morning. Typically the dogs will start screaming at us, so it's like time for a walk. And then I've usually got a couple of hours just on my own where I'm just painting and doing things. But I am like building my own little academy at the moment, my own little brand that's aside from the studio one. And yeah, I was sort of thinking like, even if the information that I'm sharing with people isn't as thorough or robust as Michael's, because obviously I am, well, when you're 8,000, you get tired, you know. But I sort of thought like, if we all get together and stuff, it would be an opportunity for everybody to be talking and sharing, and we can still share those resources. And yeah, what do we reckon?
Up here.
Well, give
Right.
it some more.
Trying to make my dog come from the studio because mom's gone, which she won't come up though. I've trained her too well. She doesn't jump up anymore. Here, I'll just move the camera. You got to see how cute this dog has become. So this is under my desk.
Wow.
Kelly, where's the camera?
So cute.
Kelly.
Aww.
Yeah, she's become almost too well behaved.
What breed is she?
Golden Retriever.
That is a silky golden retriever. I need to know what shampoo she uses.
She's clean right now, yeah. Normally she's covered in mud.
Look at I'll see, how do I turn the camera around on this? But
yeah, she's happily under the desk right now, so that's a good spot for her.
Can you see my couch that is made for 5 humans? We've got extra large, kids sized, and just a regular meal over there. Sorry.
Got 3 dogs?
Yep.
Aww.
Oh, that's
1,
nice.
2. Hello, puppy dogs. Hello.
They're like,
Hello.
we hate Wednesdays.
Well, this one in the middle loves it.
Looks like that one's
got
rubbing
2
off on the
Aggies.
other dog.
Hello, Smarty. Her name's Artemis, so I call her Smarty Pants.
So
Yeah.
That's
and
where
then
Cooper is right now on the couch, just like that.
It's the
Yeah,
best,
and
isn't it?
that's-
Having little.
I was
System.
expecting the worst because the dog was left downstairs with my door closed, but instead she was just sleeping on her bed, which is where she's not supposed to be. But of course,
Yeah, I have decided I'm not even going to try getting them off the couch, especially this one.
no kidding.
But in the bed, they're not allowed in the bed because otherwise it wouldn't be my bed anymore. Look at this face. Oh, I love you so much. You're an angel.
He says, sleep here alone. I want to go back to sleep.
They're the typical like hounds sleeping on a porch, but millennial version where it's like in a city apartment with a big old country hound.
Yeah, how much do you have to actually walk a dog that big?
They get about 3 hours every day.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of other stuff too. Like just like my lessons, I'm very regimented with the training. The moment that I got all 3 of them, which was separately, I taught them to sniff on command because I know she's 55 kilos and I'm 52. So, so I thought like, there is no way I'd be able to control them. And this dog here, she's a coonhound, Artemis. She's a coonhound and bloodhound cross, which is used
Is that a
for
4th dog?
No. She just decided.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here we are, toys everywhere, ginormous. Like, look at that big old turkey leg.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, I taught them to sniff on command, and Artemis, she's never going to not jump because they're when you get a black and tan coonhound and you cross it with a bloodhound, you get what's called a majestic tree hound. And that basically means she's bred to leap and scream her lungs out anytime she sees something up a tree. So I just don't even bother now.
Wow.
All right. Well,
It's a lifestyle.
Perfect. Beautiful dogs.
Oh, thank you.
But getting a dog a year ago was maybe the worst and best choice of my life. It had been 7 years in between dogs. So, it's everything. But again, it's like you said, it could be up to 3 hours a day of just my sister who trains dogs and horses in Montana says, I see Jada's dog. Hang on one second, Jada. Let me spotlight. Look at that.
Aww. Is that a border collie? Hello.
So cute.
So cute.
Yeah, they're great, but boy, oh boy, do they take a lot of time and a lot of
they do.
attention.
I think it's good for us artists, though, because, we chronically are feeling misunderstood by the human world, and we want to create our own world. And it just means, at least for me, I'm perfectly happy staying at home and doing things away from everyone.
Yeah. I could just not leave the studio. Yeah. Anyways, all right, let's get back to it. Otherwise, we could talk about dogs and studio dogs forever. Oh, I've been recording this whole time. All right, well. Enjoy that intermission, everybody. Guess we'll just keep at it. Let's go ahead and spotlight me again. And
the trouble is my dog always wants to go out around the same time your dog wants to go out. My dog wants to stay out longer than you stay out. So.
She's going to be crazy at about 12 is when she wakes up and just decides we play with a group of about 5-6 other dog friends every day at noon. And it's really good because it wears her out, right? But if we don't do it. Okay, so do you guys see the Padlet page again?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, Jada, thank you for showing your puppy. And
I think there's a sideways of just that the bottom one is my start this morning, not at all a finish. And that's
no worries.
And that's the photograph up top. But I was just showing the difference in the value. Yeah, that's
exactly. Yeah. And sometimes this is absolutely enough. Like this is like, I just need that sketch, right? It's like I could do it with pencil, I could do it with charcoal, I could do it with whatever. And sometimes, like we were saying, if you make it too beautiful, then you're protecting it.
Yeah.
So sometimes just having just enough is actually better. And that's something I definitely learn or have learned over and over and over and over.
Well, I also started this with regular acrylic because I thought you had talked about the importance of getting it dry before you put oil. And I had this thought that I was going to be able to move really rapidly and just, so I got regular acrylics instead of my usual open. And I don't like the regular for trying to do this kind of layout. The open is much better because it's more like painting with oils. And this was.
And again, I've never used open acrylics, not once. So I just, sorry, Kelly.
Yeah, well, this looked like it just snags. You go to do a quick lay-in and you rub, you do a couple of quick brushes again. It's already dry. Right. No time to do a blending or a. Right. Yeah, it's really it's much clumsier. I don't know how you managed to do it.
I really like the abstract feel of that painting.
I absolutely do. I love kind of some of this brushwork. I'm like, ooh, how would I use that? Even the drip is nice. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't fit, but you know what I mean? It's just like interesting accidental effects. But again, that's me wanting to maybe go more abstract. I have so many things I want to do in my paintings that it's.
I know. And you have to teach instead. You poor fool.
Walk a dog mostly. All right, Heidi, wake up. Is Heidi here?
I'm here.
All right. Man, you've got something about your just brushwork and freedom and movement that's really nice.
It is.
Yep.
It's it's a wee bit muddy, a little, there's some things that I don't love about it, but yeah, I just like that you're just making really nice marks and moving the paint around. And anyways, I should not interrupt and just tell us a little bit about what you got going on here.
Well, just all that. There's a lot of mud. Just kept moving paint around, kept adding paint. And I don't even know, though that's my black and white that had some extra color mixed in because I didn't clean my brush very well. And then I just tried the glazing over the top of it. But it was
Okay,
really
so
just a lesson in trying to use acrylic still.
And how are you like doing the black and white acrylics? Does it feel like a step back for you, or does it feel like, okay, that's helping? Like it's
I
helping
think
you to
I think it's helping. I think just using it has been helping just by going through the process of of painting with it.
right, right.
But yeah, I think it always helps. I think it helps. And I mean, it's always helped me. I'm a very new painter. I mean, I've only been painting a couple years, so anytime I do a black and white, I think it's good for me and helps me.
Sometimes I'm absolutely jealous of new painters. Like where you just kind of have this freedom of like just mark making, and it's almost like calligraphy, like you're almost like creating, I don't know, Japanese figures, right, or whatever, and you're just making these marks, and they're so free and they're so fun and they're so interesting. I see though that this is already pretty dark, right? You don't have any lights, and your values are a little bit wishy-washy, which is very apropos of the Pacific Northwest and the haziness and the fog that we have, especially where you live along kind of the coastal area out there. And the problem with that is when you go to glaze is it just gets darker and darker and darker. So when doing this, and I think we've talked about this with a couple others, is you may want to, clean up some areas, make them a little lighter, and then you can see where the gesso is still showing through the canvas, and it wants to soak it up, right? And it gets even darker and moves it around, but still, this is just a moody, interesting. I mean, it very much feels like a tonalist painting. I don't know if you're a fan of tonalism at all, Heidi, or if you even know what tonalism means. But
yeah, a little bit. But I'm learning what I'm learning what I'm a fan of.
There you go. So, like,
I'm on a journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just ask a quick question: do you like clean, vibrant, brilliant colors, or do you like more earthy, subdued colors typically?
It's just an impossible question. I like
answer it now.
It's so many it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I can't, right? I'm trying to pick tile for a new house right now, and I can like be in love with 13 different looks. So.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard because
a true artist.
So every room is its own new theme. You have to put like a sign above the doors, like this is our psychedelic room.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I can't like. I love using vibrant colors.
And I also in the same way. I like all of them. Like literally on my website, if you go visit, you'll see different sections that I've had to cordon off, and it was mostly just to give myself permission to be able to do these different things of like, this is my, illuminated tones, which is just the warms, kind of like what you're painting is ended up here. And this is my, whatever, plein air, this is my other thing, because my paintings look really different depending on my mood or depending on what I'm focusing on, or even the gallery or the client and all these things. So there's nothing wrong, nothing right. But if you are trying to figure out your style, like I feel like in this class, I bet you only 3 of you guys, I really understand what your direction is. Right? The rest of us are still in our exploratory stage.
Yes.
Which is super fun. And for some of us, it never ends. And I've decided that with myself, with being ADHD and dyslexic, is that I'm not going to have this one thing. And that's fine. And in fact, I love it. It just makes it hard on my galleries and anybody that's helping me promote me. But
sometimes looking back at the first painting you fell in love with, or the first illustration you fell in love with, sometimes indicates what you
right. Yeah, like right now I'm working with a couple, just mentorship for single people, like, one-on-ones. And that has been something we've been doing is just, tell me your favorite three Pinterest artists or Instagram artists. And then let's discuss, is it because they paint birds? Or is it because they paint sunsets? Or is it because they use these colors? Or is it because of their style? And really leaning in towards that. And, we've talked a lot about that book about Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. And it's totally valid is to just go, I'm taking a little bit of this person. I'm taking a little bit of this person. So back to your question or your comment there, Jada, was Maxfield Parrish was my favorite first painter.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was all about these illuminated, glowy colors. Right. And then what's my favorite subject? I loved catching frogs and turtles and salamanders, fishing. I love creeks and I love swamps and I love marshes. And you know what I mean? That's just my subject, my style. Plus I love tonalism. When I did a big trip around the world and visited all the museums and all the churches and everything else, is I was still attracted to the same thing, other artists doing similar things just in their own way. And so, Heidi, I don't want you to find your own thing, like specifically, like I only paint horses at sunset, in January. I want you to just go, but to kind of invite that exploration. It's really fun. So anyways, moody, absolutely moody, very beautiful. Love your brushwork. I almost don't want you to tighten your brushwork very much. I just think it's got such a nice calligraphy to it. So yeah,
I think it's hard. I think I've tried to tighten my brushwork and it's just a disaster in my, I just can't. I'm not happy when I do.
And let me tell you, so many artists spend so long becoming picture perfect and then spend the rest of their life trying to become looser.
Yeah. Can I ask a question, Heidi? Where's your light source?
Oh,
well,
Heidi skipped that class.
It was a trick question because I can see, where you've got the Indian yellow or whatever that is kind of working in there. And maybe if you just think about what your light source is and accentuate that in this painting, you're done.
Yeah. If you take some of this warm glow and this light and bring it across, it doesn't have to be
horizon.
Low, right up high. Yeah.
Yeah. Highlight that post and maybe those grasses where it gets a little dark. But I think if you figure out where your light source is and go in with that Indian yellow, or I'm assuming that's Indian yellow, and highlight those areas a little bit, I think you've got a beautiful painting.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll try. It just I kind of had to just walk away. I did that like in 20 minutes because it got so muddy.
That's the best.
Mm-hmm. It just got so muddy up top. I just had to just stop.
And is that acrylic with oil over the top then too?
Oh, it's all acrylic.
It's all acrylic.
Oh, okay. You're still in acrylic.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Then you are in good shape. Take a little bit of light color on the top, a wash.
Yeah.
Let that dry. Put an Indian yellow wash across. Bring a bit of Indian yellow on the insides of these cool whites, and a touch here.
Yeah.
And this
you're done.
This painting is really gonna sing.
Mm-hmm.
What you have here is warm and cool that aren't relating. They're not communicating. So. Does that make sense? To take a little bit of light, and it could be a wash, like a watered down white.
Mm-hmm.
Water it down up here, let it dry, bring a wash of, or you could mix Indian yellow with that white just to save time. Lighten up so that we understand that the light, this warmth is coming from up here. And then a little bit of warmth on the inside of this where the cools are. Because right now your cools and your warms, because your white is reading as a cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, because it was just titanium over the top, like in just trying to bring more light. Because I got so dark, I had to and so that at the top, kind of ended up just as a chalky wash was what happened at the top.
But that's what's cool about acrylics is you
yeah.
just give it 10 minutes in a hair dryer and you're back at it.
I'll try again, or I will focus enough to try to keep working on this.
Oh, beautiful, moody, and I already know that this hurts Graham. I already know that this is killing him.
It's beautiful,
isn't it?
Nice. It seems like a Turner.
I really like doing the black and white and then painting over it. I did 4 of these quickly, and it's quite amazing. I'm going to do them larger as well. The color on that didn't come out quite like it really looks.
I love the color.
But that looks better in black and white, actually.
Look at that beautiful, subtle sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your perspective here is not working for me personally. This angle. So I think this needs to flatten out.
Okay.
But lovely, lovely, beautiful textures. And I think one more wash with different colors will be really interesting. I'm just making sure I'm not missing secondary. Oh, goodness.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that's
It's like Maxfield Parrish.
Yes,
That's good.
yeah.
Maxfield Parrish.
Did you use Maxfield Parrish blue? Very cool. Interesting. And it's been fun to see you experimenting with texture and things. And so, I mean, when we looked at the first one, I really thought you would say something that you didn't like the roughness of this sky, but you seem pretty cool with it. And I'm pretty cool with it. In fact, the cover of the American Tonalist book has a sky not too dissimilar from this.
Oh, you're right. It does.
Isn't that a good example of the harmony of colors that are like the Impressionists? He's got a mauve there with an orange with a yellow.
Squint your eyes at it, and it just pulls together like all the little bits and pieces of texture.
Yeah,
kind of fall away, and he's got the big shapes and the big things, and oh yeah, this gorgeous cool ground. Yeah, it's really interesting. It almost goes green at the top.
Yeah.
What did you do for the blue?
Blue?
It's Prussian blue. And I wanted it to be bluer on the top, but it just didn't match, and so I kept glazing Indian yellow over it, but tried to keep it darker at the top. But all that texture comes from Michael's crummy brush that he and I'm really liking the crummy brush.
Yeah.
Well, and it really breaks up a thing. Like I miss like the normal, a sandy sky, beautiful, smoothed out big shapes, but this is really interesting and really dynamic.
Yeah.
And it does kind of hurt me, but at the same time it makes me interested and curious.
What did you do for the tree painting?
The trees?
Yeah, not this in the blue, the Maxfield Parrish painting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I did that in black and white, just as if there was sun shining on it, and then I glazed the whole thing over with a combination of ultramarine blue and no, this one is in turquoise.
Oh,
phthalo turquoise. That's what this one.
Really?
It gives it a really beautiful nocturnal look.
Wow, yeah.
And there's one more down below that was the first one I did.
Sorry, no, that's enough.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
So this is what I meant. Like, what a difference,
Whoa.
right? With all the
Whoa.
texture before in the sky.
Yeah.
And then you get these big smooth transitions.
Yeah.
I feel like, what was it, 2 semesters ago when we did transitions? And you just went, that's all I need. I'm just going to focus on transitions. And you've really just, your subtle transitions in your colors are just amazing.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Gorgeous. Wow.
Well, thank you. Thank you. There are actually little bits of pink in the foreground that don't show up on the camera, but
Little bit.
yeah, a little bit you can see.
Yeah.
So for that, Graham, as colors come forward, their saturation will often increase a little bit. So if you wanted to accent these purples, you may have to just make them a wee bit stronger in chroma, which just means stronger in color, a little bit. And then they would, we'll still understand that they relate. You just take away some of the white.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous.
This is another canvas that, kind of has a predominant texture.
Yeah, these are the boards that I picked up in Scottsdale. What do they sell there, Michael?
Raymar.
Raymar, but Raymar, I thought you.
No, these aren't Raymars. Raymar is a good board, really good board. These are something else. Anyway,
Yeah,
I don't like
mean
this.
to like brag or push the point, but this is why I paint on wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is, or you can take this and then gesso it like 3 more coats and smooth it out. But I mean, so many of even my clients will tell me they miss the texture of canvas. It's like, oh, okay.
But this takes away from the beautiful simplicity of the shapes. The forms are these beautiful shapes, and suddenly to have all those little, it just to me it was distracting. And that's why I was asking about it, because I thought, I wish I didn't.
Yeah,
because I think it's
one on top, the one that hurts your eyes. That was on a board.
It doesn't hurt my eyes. I thought it would hurt your eyes. I really thought you would say, I love this painting, but I hate this. But look at that energy and that.
Yeah.
And the texture is what the painter put there, as opposed to the canvas.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an American easel board, so you're familiar with those.
Yeah, that's what I just had a long talk with them yesterday. I'll be driving down to pick up a bunch of stuff next Tuesday.
Oh, great.
So with this one, I really, really like it. I would love to see a wee bit of transition, whether that's a bit of pink or a little bit of something, or even what you could do is the lights in the back could have a touch of color to them. Like the house lights are different, you know what I mean? Versus all the blue light.
I know exactly what
this
you
is a
mean.
beautiful, great design. I love the value structure. But I think a little bit of a something. I've done a couple where it has the cars going away, have the little red lights, the cars coming forward, have a little bit of yellow lights. It's not like a line of them, like a bunch, or a house in the back, or a building in the back, or again, just a bit of pink light and a little bit of pink, just to break it up a little bit. But at the same time, it's really successful as is. So, I'm sure Beverly Drew's just like, shut up, Mike. This is wonderful. Leave him alone.
It's gorgeous.
It really is. It really is nice.
I love the shapes of the trees on the right. I think the values are fantastic.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, the shapes are really pretty.
I will say that I got a lecture on nocturnes one time to remind me that you do not see color at night.
Really?
Now, car lights are another thing, but if it's only moonlight, because I put a little green in the top of my trees, and the instructor said, you can't see that green. You can't
cannot,
really,
but it's amazing what
you
our
just know
brain
it's
makes
there.
us think we see. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I sit out in our backyard a lot with, you know, we have a little fire pit, and I spend a lot of time just looking out across, because we're just a tiny bit above the, you know, a bit of the neighborhood, so I can see off in the distance and look a bunch of trees. And I spend a lot of time just studying that. And I'm like, is that tree green? Why do I think that tree's green? What, that tree's reddish? Why do I think it's reddish? You know, what is going on? And it's, you know, it definitely, you would not paint a green to make a green tree at the night. You would not paint a red to
I
paint
just
red.
did the tippy tops of it where the moonlight was coming across.
Yeah, but
And
it's not
I
the
just
same
made
light.
it a dark green and dark, just a hint of green, dark green on it. But I did get a lecture.
As well, you should
Well,
have.
I'll give you another one if you ever want one.
Yeah.
But yeah, nocturnes are like blue and green, and then everything else is nearly black. And you have to project whatever you think the energy would be colored or whatever. And so it's very much like painting clouds in general. You can't sit there staring at the same cloud and capturing it. You have to get good at the technique and at extrapolating like information and then the result of whatever it is that you're trying to have come across. And a lot of the time I find that the best nocturne paintings that I see are usually one color, like they're very monochromatic. And
If
and
there's
yeah.
an artificial light, sometimes then you'll get that orange cast or yellow cast. But that was what I was told, was that that's the only source of light, so you can't see those other colors.
Yeah, yeah.
We lost you, Mike. We can't hear you, Michael.
Sorry. Now do you see me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was actually working on a nocturne.
Ooh,
Wow.
beautiful.
I love that.
And so all I did was add a little bit of a purpley pink to the edges to make it so it's not all blue. Oh, so you can see it as I turn the light.
Yes. Yes. Gorgeous.
And that's, I mean, you know, not to compete with Graham because I'll never win, but it was just what's that slight, like, where are you moving, camera? That slight transition.
Yes.
And again, you almost, camera, stop moving. Yeah, it's just those subtle transitions of color. I think that little bit of
Amber Alert system.
What?
Sorry. Uh-oh.
Is Alexa talking to you?
I've fallen and I can't get up. All right, let's go back.
No, an Amber Alert means some kid is missing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Or an adult.
Yeah.
No, I think they have a different one for adults. I can't remember what it's called.
It's a silver alert.
Gray alert.
Silver for
Yeah,
adults.
silver alert, that's right.
Silver alert, yeah. Okay, are you guys seeing Padlet again?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Gail's wonderful, I want to call it a sketch a little bit at this point. But...
Yeah, it's on that icky paper, canvas pad, and it's acrylic. And all I did was repeat the ones I did in gray, and I did them in burnt sienna. And when I paint over them with color, I just wanted to see what the difference.
No, that's super smart. I would love to see this experiment.
So that's all I'm fooling around with.
Yeah, so this is great, you guys. We all know that Gail can do fully detailed, fully rendered, you know, imagery. But when you're experimenting, just do kind of a minimum, get your, you know, and maybe Gail's gonna be like, what? I spent 20 hours on this.
No, I did not.
But just get the thing and then play and experiment. And it's, again, I'm working one-on-one mentorships with a couple of different people. And, you know, one of my wonderful, beautiful students is just wants every picture to end up a masterpiece. but they don't know, they want to try new colors, they want to try new ideas, they want to try new references. I'm like, just do small 4x6, whatever, 8x10, 5x7 sketches. And then they're just notes. I have piles and piles, that I keep showing you guys for lessons and different things. This is so wonderful, is to just do a good enough that if it works, then you blow it up, right, Gail? You make it something interesting, then you spend the time, but you're not wasting the time in the experiment.
And I will say that acrylic forces me to do sketches. If I were to do this in oil, it would be, even the underpainting would be far more finished. So the acrylic has forced me to do underpaintings that are just sketches.
Is that because it dries faster?
It dries so fast, I can't move it around the way I would, and I do a lot of wipe away when I do in oil underpainting. I spend a lot more time doing my underpaintings in oil. This I had to do fast because it dries fast. It was a lot of back and forth, like Michael has said, erase this or do something else over the top of it. But it forced me to just do something really fast just to get the suggestion down. I mean, there's a lot of things I could look at this and say the horizons suck, something is, goes up or down, or
this tree floats.
Yep. And the value between the, are too close to one another. As you move back, they're too dark. But those are all things that can be fixed with oil paint. This is just a note. Yeah. And I think acrylic forced me to do notes instead of a underpainting.
And again, you're experimenting, you're trying a new thing.
Correct.
So I didn't mean to scrub off or lift up with a wet or damp brush.
So
I often do that, but it's an old one, and I kind of scrub the water in a little bit, and you can lift a lot of things off, or a little bit of alcohol.
Were you using this as a practice for the acrylic, or were you using this for the composition?
I mean, I've been with Michael for a while now, and he's done more and more acrylic underpaintings, and it's just something I've never tried. So this is just me trying an acrylic underpainting. And then last week I was asking, how much of the underpainting do you actually allow to show through? Because I typically will use thin paint on a board and allow the underpainting to show through and be part of the finished painting. So this is just trying a different technique.
So yeah, for this experiment, I think Jada, what was the big thing was Gail did it in burnt umber and in black and white. And now when Gail goes over it with other colors, they'll see
which is the more effective
for their style. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing when.
Yeah, I would like burnt umber as a underpainting thing,
especially when you do landscapes, because it's that warmer undertone. Black and white isn't so much. So, and then if this was a big oil painting, I would typically glaze over it just to give myself an idea of where I want color. But then you're waiting for things to dry. So this is just strictly an experiment.
And that's why we do it small. We keep it simple. We don't overly lay into it. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Gail. All right, Eloise painted a very colorful, beautiful sky of leftover paints.
Yeah.
I wish you would paint more of these ponies.
Oh my God, it looks very obscene before you give it the hair and the horn. And
we don't have to talk about it. Let's
yeah. But yeah, I think that I did a little colored pencil sketch of like a path in on black paper, and it's like it's very similar to what I would have done for the homework. And I'm very time poor at the moment because it's end of term over here and online. And yeah, I thought I've got all these paints laying around. I'm trying to figure out what is my actual preferred palette at the moment. And I'm noticing that I really tend to use these rose gold kind of tones and then really vivid blue. And I thought, what would the sky look like with that? So I tried it out. And instead of having something dramatic like I usually would do, I tried to keep it a bit more controlled and subdued. And I was really focusing on staying present as I'm painting. So not really making a proper landscape or anything like that. I just wanted it to be easy, but not mindless. So
I like that. That's a nice way to say it.
Nice description.
yeah, yeah. And it was really enjoyable. And I got to do it in the window of the studio during peak hour, like public transport traffic. Best advertising ever, can I say? So good. And yeah, it was just like a nice little rainy afternoon that I made colorful. And that's it. That's
Yeah,
me.
I really like the transitions, even starting with the cool blue grays down at the base where it looks like a little bit of a cloud layer. You know, I'd love you to do something with the dark shape, but I understand what you're saying. And then moving up, and again, we were talking about gradations and then getting up here. I feel like these clouds get a little bit, you're getting a little bit bored or the paint was getting a little tacky.
Yes, it was getting tacky and I was about to go home. So I was like,
right. It feels a little popcorn up top, but yeah, lovely middle area for sure.
Yeah.
And is that oil, Eloise, or
acrylic? No, God, no, never, no. I would never. Yeah, no, it's just acrylic, and it is cheap student grade, like nothing really. And I think that because of my job, I have gotten pretty good at acrylics, and these aren't open acrylics either. This is just like standard mayonnaise, basically. Like if you've ever used just student quality cheap acrylic, it is just mayonnaise, and then it turns into, I don't even know, slime. It's awful. But when it starts drying out, then you can start to do things that are like oils, like blending. When you've got the tacky consistency acrylic, if you have a wet brush, you can blend it as if it's opens. And dry brushing as well is like my favorite cloud technique. And I say it's like brushing your teeth. You turn the brush on the side and very softly do little tiny circles, and it just fills that space, like this little mist going across the canvas.
Would that be like in this area here in the middle?
Yeah, pretty much the whole thing. Apart from that, the color of the sky, all of the clouds are just using a cool yellow, a white, and then occasionally picking up either a tiny bit of cool blue or some cool red. I prefer using the cool toned student grade. Like they do have actual names, I'm sure, but it's just, I don't know, that costs too much to put on the bottle. So this is what you get.
Right. Yeah. I remember when I was teaching kids classes, it was just like yellow, red, blue.
Yeah.
And then like if they're fancy, it'd be like fire truck red.
Yeah,
like, what does that mean? Like school bus yellow. I mean, they were definitely for kids, right? Like, yeah, but beautiful. I'm a lovely transition. Interesting. I mean, you could definitely just do a little bit of something here, and you know, do something. You can see that the blue is sticking differently up top in different areas as it's drying. You know,
and there was something behind it as well that I didn't really bother painting over entirely. But yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I told everybody when you had to go off to go and check out your Japan trip, we could, you need to join us on a Thursday where we can discuss all that.
And I have a link of the Monet exhibition as well that I went to. And it was like, photos not allowed. And I have photos of Riley, like, in front of people shamelessly being like, we only have 5 minutes. Take as many photos close-ups as possible. And I was like, Riley, you're going to get us kicked out.
of Japan. All right, Don. So we are going long, and I knew this would happen. You guys have done such awesome work, and I want to keep checking it out. Let's see, who do we have left? Don, Diane. Gosh, I mean, I want to talk about all of these. Would you guys rather keep discussing this, or next week I start on the other end and come back? Because yeah, we have another, if we keep going at this pace, we'll be here for a while. Or would you guys rather take a little break and come back and do a demo painting, or discuss a little bit more about sky painting?
Let's look at everybody's work. I think everybody kind of deserves that.
They do. Yeah, I keep cutting you guys off. So that's great. Let's do that. And we'll just see if the dog keeps sleeping on my feet. Maybe I'll get to do a longer class.
Well, if we do that, how about we time limit? I'm not good at timing, but some people are. Cheryl, you are. Like, say 3 minutes.
Yeah.
We can try. We've tried that in the past. I'm just not good at that.
Do it.
That is literally why my number one complaint from students that don't love the class after the end is just like, we do not do time limits. So this is 7 days ago, Don. Did we look at this one?
I don't know if we did or not.
Let's go ahead and jump up to the colored version of it. So you designed the black and whites and are starting to glaze in to get your warms and your cools. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on here. Oh, wait. Stop real quick. Got to do something really important.
You're on the recorder.
No, I've got to. Sorry. All right, can everybody see Don?
Yes.
Yep. All right, Don, stand up.
Oh.
Oh, that's funny.
God,
That's good.
I love that
missed
one.
it. I couldn't see it. What did I miss?
One more time, Don.
That's cute.
That's really good.
Thank you. I was on the wrong screen. I couldn't find the right place. Thanks.
That's funny. Dutch people don't get that because it says hoch outside.
Yeah, we gotta. That's just for us. Okay, everybody sees our Padlet again.
Yes.
All right, so Don, tell me a little bit about your thoughts about doing black and white and glazing on top. And
can we go to the next one up?
That's really pretty.
Yeah.
And I really do. I'm kind of with Gail. I kind of like the acrylic underpainting because it's fast and I don't feel like I'm married to it.
Right, yeah, that's a good way to say it too. Yeah.
This isn't one of my more successful efforts. I got mad at the canvas and hit it with a palette knife, and I said, "Take that, painting."
Did it help?
Well, yeah, it helped my brain kind of work through it. But I was struggling with the trying to get the vibration out of this thing. Cool and warm juxtaposed of similar value, and I keep putting on my value specs to make sure that the values are right, and I wasn't getting any vibration, no good vibrations, as the Beach Boys would say.
You won't unless you have more colors. Two colors does not vibration make. You need, you need more colors in there. And again, I've got a week ahead of me to make that presentation. We'll see what I can do. But this actually does vibrate. It does And it looks like to me, it's like black and white with yellow added. And I went to an art show 10 years ago. And the whole art show was that of this artist that did black and white and then added yellow to it. And I was dumbfounded about how amazing and how just adding yellow all of a sudden made you see purples in areas and greens in areas and blues in areas. It was so interesting to me that I was like, oh, I want to do a whole series about that. And then it wasn't until Gail, what was that, Gail? 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
Purple and yellow. Yeah.
Purple and yellow. And it was even more electric and alive and really interesting. And then the purple and the yellow work as counters to make these beautiful dull grays in between. It was really a fun series and something I would, again, like to work with at some point. But this reminds me of that. And it's, so are you adding more colors than black, white, and yellow, or is this mostly that? It looks like there's blue.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of blue in the foreground. And I was kind of using, I was using a John McDonald color reference, and he was using just the trees almost look black, and then a real dark blue and an orangey yellow sky, and it was quite dramatic. And I don't think it translated very well here, but it was I thought it was a nice reference.
The colors,
absolutely. Go ahead.
I was just saying the colors remind me of a Degas painting where he did some ballet dancers in this sort of blue gray and with yellow. Very impressionistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something alive, but at the same time quiet about this piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that. Like, thank you for the reminders. This is kind of a series, like an idea that I would like to continue with. And, also with Gail's thing, it's like, what if I used purple as my red, like Payne's gray as my blue, and, some kind of a yellow, let's say an Indian yellow, go crazy, and use Indian yellow and then white. Like, man, maybe I'll try that. That'll be really wild. But at the same time, also really harmonious. And that's what you got going on here. I think what's making it not as exciting for you is you've got really kind of wishy-washy areas, very transparent brush strokes of the acrylics, and then other areas. So I think if you bring in more opacity, thicker paint, that you'll be a little more excited about some of the areas and what's going on.
Okay.
And is this, and maybe I missed it, is this oil over the top of an acrylic?
Yes, Gail.
I wonder if you used a couple of different yellows with it. Leave the underpainting the way it is, and that's just bring in different yellows. Like you've got an Indian yellow. What would happen if you brought in like a cadmium light or something? Opaque. I don't know.
Yeah,
I will
just do the variety of color in different kinds of yellow, a warm yellow, a cool yellow.
Right.
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Diane, you have 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Let's do it. Somebody time.
That's really pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It was the first time I tried doing the glazing, and it's with acrylic, and I almost want to buy some oils now.
Oh, be careful. I don't know if you need to, because you're doing so many effects that are so good and so close. I would hold off on the oils for a little bit. I would experiment with this a little bit more and see if you can't push it. I think what you're doing is transparent, and the white is becoming cool in areas that I don't think you want cool colors, and just add a little bit more color to that, possibly a little more yellow. But this is,
it's beautiful.
I mean, I feel like I'm becoming redundant, but this is, again, one of my favorite paintings of yours, is that you're just becoming a little more loose and free. How long ago did we start together? 2 years ago? And all of your paintings felt like watercolors.
Yes.
Right. And now you're starting to get some density. of value and contrast. And, you know, I can see where you're adding white to add opacity. I would like you to do a black and white for your final project, but then I would like you to paint opaquely over most of it. I want you to stop using so much water and so much medium. I think it's just water that you use to thin your paint. And I think there's a safety in that for you.
Yeah.
Is making it really, really transparent, which again is exactly what I've been telling you to do. But I would love to see what happens if you get a little more bold and a little more expressive. Because I mean, gorgeous. Look at this.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
really
part.
gorgeous. I really like your tree in the top right too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, there's so much goodness. I mean, this texture,
beautiful.
like you are really getting better. You're getting bolder, you're getting more expressive, you're getting more, I mean, it's just they're more interesting. And yeah, I mean, these color schemes, a designer could grab those and do a whole like house, a whole, you know, room based on that with a touch of these green grays. So your harmony is really good. It really feels nice together. So yeah, I don't know exactly how to describe what I'm feeling about it, but I feel like you're ready to move to that next stage where now you start to actually use some opaque paint, some thicker paint, and just mix the colors. Does that make sense at all, Diane?
Sorta.
I wonder what would happen if you just glazed over this thing, the whole thing.
Well, yeah, we could.
With what?
Well, you've got some Indian yellow going on back there, and where Michael said it's so cool, you could just glaze over, spot glaze in different areas, just that Indian yellow, and maybe go into a little bit of green or blue down at the bottom. I'd just glaze over a little bit.
Okay.
How big is this, Diane?
Oh, not that big. Maybe by 20 by 10, something like, I don't know.
That's big then. 20 by 10?
Well,
I think she meant 8 by 10, but
yeah, yeah, not big. Yeah, not big. Oh, it's probably 12 by 10.
You've got nothing to lose by just glazing over it.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, 3 minutes.
boom. Love it, love it, love it, love it. This whole area, these colors are are dreamy. All right, Darlene. Perfect. So this is exactly what I was kind of hoping for like, and I would be curious, Darlene, to talk to you and ask you, is Darlene here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. I think of this as a perfect midpoint, like when I'm painting like maybe even 2/3 of the way done. And now I can come in and really describe some shapes and some forms, bring in some stronger colors, because it's kind of a little bit what we were talking about with Diane, is it feels a little bit wishy-washy, and it's kind of perfect for this stage where you got your values, your design, and then you glazed in. And now you come through and you actually put in some paint and describe these forms. Yeah. All right. Now you have 2 minutes to tell me why I'm wrong.
So the first painting I ever saw was Albert Bierstadt, and I fell in love with the Hudson River School. Then you presented me with Ramona Youngquist, and that's become probably one of my favorites.
Oh, good. She's such a good person. You chose a good one.
Well, they're two worlds apart. And so, you know, I've got, I don't know, there's like this contest going on. I really love Ramona Youngquist. So anyway, I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it or not.
Oh, I don't know if I did.
It was questioning this new I don't know if you call it a class or what a program that you're starting. One of the things I commented in my email is that you've given me and everybody here a lifetime of information to use. And you know, there's so much, but what I really am looking for now is specific critiques. You gave you gave us a self-critique worksheet, which is wonderful. I could pick out big things, but when I start looking at my baby, somehow I don't see what I really need to see, and I'm not sure how to fix it if I did. So the critique thing is really important to me. It's what I'm looking for more than anything.
Yeah.
I can't, the information I have 3 notebooks full of information from the classes I've taken with you. And it's all highly valuable, but I need to learn how to use it now. So the critique thing is probably the most important thing for me now. And so anyway, there you go. You don't have to read the email. Just cancel it out.
No, I'll read it for sure. No, I apologize. We've had lots of things, but as always.
So this one I
Life
did with the glazing. The other one I did, I wanted to paint over with
oh, look at that palette knife work. Wow.
And I wanted to, these are small. I bought a whole stack of 8x10s, and they're the canvas. After 3 coats of gesso, they still have, the little holes on them. I don't like it. But anyway, so I wanted to do something with no blending, brush blending, and I would like to have been able to use a big brush, but these are small, a bigger brush, and just consciously put down strokes instead of blend, and so that's what I did with this one over the top of the black and white.
I mean, I don't think it's the most beautiful painting you've ever done by any means, but
no,
there's so much I really, really like. I love, I had to sit back in my chair to see the sky, partly because of the glare, but that transition of the warms to the to the yellows, up to the kind of almost earthy reds, back up to the pale grays is really wonderful. And I, even though your brush or your palette knife marks are a little, counterintuitive
I don't know. I
at
just
times.
don't know how to use a palette knife, so that's I'm trying
Nobody
to
does.
figure that out too.
That's good.
But I knew if I used a brush, what I would start doing is blending.
Yeah, no, and that's what's so beautiful. And again, I'm looking at your painting, and I'm looking at Diane Lewis's painting, and those little color schemes, those little areas. I'm like, oh, I can't. I'm going to steal that. That's why I actually teach, is to just steal your good ideas.
You sent. This is one of yours.
Yeah, that's Savi Island there.
I liked that. I like the colors in this.
Yeah.
I really like the colors in this.
The thickness of the paint. If you love the Hudson River School, if you see their paintings live and in person, they have very thick, juicy paint, just like that you have in the sky.
I would have never guessed that. I've not seen any.
I wouldn't have either.
I always thought they were very washy and glaze based and earth colors.
Yeah, and thin, interesting. But anyway, so there you go. I play with it.
If I may, Darlene, and take a step back in time, you did for about 2 or 3 weeks, you were doing a bunch of little studies.
Yeah.
And they were based on Ramona's paintings. And again, if you're going to steal from the best, if you're going to borrow from the best, Ramona's, and she would be honored. She's just such a sweet, wonderful human. And I mean, you can go on YouTube and watch her make sourdough bread for hours. She's just such a sweetheart. And I really liked what you were doing there. And I got a little bit nervous because it felt like you kind of got a little safe for a little bit here. And now you're getting back to being bold and brave and kind of going for it. And this is how you're going to grow the most. I would love to be your, mentor. I would love to give you one-on-one feedback, and I'd love to spend more time with you. That goes with all of you guys, just because I really enjoy working.
That's what I'm really looking for. And I before you presented that program, I've talked about 4 different people that in the area. We belong to a guild, but we don't do any critiquing. And what I'm looking for is real critiquing, not just
What do
the,
you think, you guys, if
you
we
know,
opened up our, oh, you can't make it to Thursdays.
I can't ever do a Thursday. I
Yeah,
have
I'm wondering if
another
we could even
commitment.
find a secondary time. Again, it doesn't have to be about me, but if we could get enough of us together, just as a free bonus, I wonder, just to talk about our artwork, because now we just hang out and paint. But what if we actually spent, just invited each other to a critique time? And again, my summer just freed itself up. I was really hesitant, it was family first, and now it's family last, you guys first. As it should be, right?
The critique thing is I'm just really looking for, the critique and start using the
Right.
information I've been given, because it's so valuable. It's tremendously valuable. There's so much of it, but the critique is really
Right.
what
And it is
I need.
difficult. Like I'm a member of a critique group that's on a Sunday, and I haven't been there in a year because Sundays are always, games, family events, and and then I go and they spend 3 hours at breakfast, and then they kind of forget to critique, right? And
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're drinking Bloody Marys instead, and
That's like the book groups I've been in.
yeah, which would really help with the critique if we ever got to it. But I'm wondering if we can't figure out. So I don't pay for this Zoom. It goes through the school. But I was talking to my wife. It would cost me $28 a month to pay for Zoom. And maybe I could just open up a time that's just a weekly. Would this be something that'd be interesting to you guys? I might not be there, but we would have my check sheet. Maybe I'll be there. Maybe it'll be the same thing where we're painting, we're talking, we're looking at each other's work. So I'm actually, Darlene, I'm going to have a private chat with you and find a time that works for Darlene, and then we'll see if it works for everybody else, because everybody else mostly can make Thursdays.
Fantastic.
Can I go
Yeah,
back?
that would be
Darlene?
awesome. Even once a month, it wouldn't even have to be weekly, but a really
Every other week or something.
Every other week, but a very specific, detailed critiquing period.
And it also gives you that impetus to finish your project or to get it far enough along that,
Yes.
That'd be very cool. So what I may do, and this sounds like a sales thing. No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to say that I could put it as part of, like, if you're one of my mentorees, that we do it. But I would actually I would like you guys just to do it. And I'll just figure out how to make it happen. It'll be just like our Thursdays. I'm going to try to figure out how to make that happen throughout the summer. Even when I'm camping, I won't be there and stuff. So I like the community of it. I want you guys to be
fantastic.
And again, sometimes it's 2 and 3 of us, sometimes it's 10 of us. And yeah.
Can we go back to Darlene's painting for a minute?
We've got to clear up one thing. Who is going to provide the Bloody Marys?
I think it might be a BYOBB. BM.
Can we go back to Darlene's painting for a minute?
Yeah, please do.
Are you not seeing it?
No, I'm seeing it. I'm
okay.
just talking about a critique. And there's an area of your painting that I absolutely love. And if this is dry enough, I would encourage you to mat, get a window or something to mat it off. But the section on the left, your trees on the left, move a little to the right where there's a little bit of pink just showing. If you were to mat off the sky above, because see how close your values are, the pink of the sky and the blue of the mountains, and then your trees have just a little bit of the highlights for the sun, and then your horizon or the bottom of the trees is nice and flat, and then you've got a little bit, that is absolutely beautiful. And if you were to take a mat, a small mat, and just go around that little area, you would have the most beautiful little painting.
Oh, interesting.
And you need to see that little bitty section as a beautiful painting.
Oh, interesting. Thank you.
No, that's really good advice. I used to have a college instructor that looked for the best brush stroke in your painting.
Right. Over to where it looks like you have a tree stump. From there over to, I just think that piece of your painting is Beautiful.
It is.
Oh, thank you.
You repeated that on the other side. And I just really like the fact that your sky and the blue mountain behind is the same value, different color, but same value. So you don't have a hard line like you do on the other side.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Squinting your eyes is one of the best things you can do, and just watch where edges just fall away. And Lisa, that's a little bit about what we were talking about right here. See the values? Squint your eyes right here.
Yeah.
And they're almost the same, but they create a vibrancy, where they just radiate off each other.
Yes.
But I think that would help you a lot, Darlene.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Darlene and I will work on this group, and you'll be lucky if you're invited. Darlene just sent me a note of who she doesn't want to.
No, I
Everybody
do.
but Nyla. Nyla's one of the nicest. Anyways, Darlene, when you are bold and when you go for it, and even I think sometimes you set like time limits and go for it, some of my favorite things you do. So when you're brave and are bold, yeah.
Well, I went through a period of just being so discouraged and so tight, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to do this, but I'm stubborn enough to say, no, I'm going to do this. But it took a period of time to kind of get out of that funk, I guess I'd say, and then say, oh, it's just a piece of canvas. Who cares? And get past that. And so I kind of went through that, and I probably will go through it again, I suppose. But now I'm not feeling so intimidated as I was.
Darlene, I'd like to see more palette knifing from you. I'd like it if you'd done the whole painting, palette knifing like you did the sky, because your sense of how to blend the colors when you're dealing, I think you have a natural affinity for thick paint. That's what
That's interesting. Wonder, yeah. Because I've been the thinnest painter. That was the other thing. I take this tiny little bit of paint and it's like water paint almost, is so thin. And I thought, okay, so I squirted out a lot of paint, not for me. And I thought, wow, now I have paint on my palette.
Ain't like you're rich. Like you're rich. That's what Nyla says. And what was the oh man. Stubborn enough, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
I think that should be the name of our painting group. Because I mean, I literally do it for 6 months a year, Darlene, where I question. So my sales peak in December, of course, right? And then for the next 3 months, they're nothing. And I've been doing this for 20 years, and every year I go, oh man, I must suck.
Oh.
Right? You know, because my sales they drop off, right? I mean, the galleries are quiet and everything else. And you judge and base everything on, this feedback of sales. And it's such a funny thing that I allow myself to fall in this trap that is so esoteric and so like based on just like, oh, now they're paying off their bills from buying Christmas presents, right? And so we can't judge our work on anything more than almost that we just keep making it.
Yeah. I got so tight that, I look at a blank canvas. It's like I'm afraid to put that first mark on it. So I don't know. It was a horrible period, but I'm doing better now. So yeah.
Anybody, let's just go ahead and do this. Everybody, let me do a stop share. Okay, everybody sees everybody in the big group chat.
Yeah.
Raise your hands if you go through a funk at least 1 or 2 times a year in your artwork.
Really? Oh my God.
It's like 1 or 2 times a month.
Sometimes a week.
More than twice.
I was going to say around 2:30 in the afternoon for me, but yeah.
Yeah, I have like a crisis pretty much weekly. Yeah. And like I'll be teaching people. You can teach people anything, if you're a teacher. But then when you do it yourself, I'm constantly thinking, like, who the hell told me I could open a studio and I could have a painting career and do all this stuff? And Riley now, he used to be so sweet about it, but now he just goes, oh my God, this again. Yeah.
You and
like,
the dogs. Come on, get
yeah,
off the
no.
couch.
Yeah, I'm just a hound dog crying all the time. It's just nonstop. And
No,
yeah.
it literally, yeah, it is such a universal battle. And I mean, I even laugh sometimes because I get good at a thing, like, right, I'll work on a certain style, a certain technique, using certain colors, brushes, and then I get good at it, and then I'm like, but who cares? I need to do the next thing, right? I need to keep challenging.
Yes.
So it's
your art instructor
so it's the
says,
joy and the agony.
Or your art instructor says, no, do that in black and white and acrylic.
Right. And now palette knife, Gail.
And that really screws you up.
So one of the things,
try some of those phthalo colors.
Michael,
but
you
sometimes
appear
your
to be.
students are said, what if you did it in purple and yellow? So
that's true.
Yeah.
One of the things that I noticed about these pictures that we are, most of us are working on for me, in contrast to the one behind you, is that they are flat, and what I want to feel is more movement in what I'm trying to paint, as opposed to flat line. I mean, when you look behind, it's that big one you got, you feel that sense of moving into it. Am I making sense? That's
Yeah,
what I want to be able to
trying to hike
feel
up that
that
trail.
movement in there, and not just a flat scene.
How are you holding your brush?
Oh, well, I'm holding my brush usually like this.
Perfect. I think it's
I
more
had
about
to
the
get away
elevation
from
of the
this.
scene.
My original teacher had me holding my brush like a pencil. And so and as a matter of fact, one time in my class, I held my brush like this, and she said, "What are you doing?" I'm sorry. So I spent a couple years doing this. How I learned to paint. And this is the only way I learned to paint. And it was very specific. So it's really hard for me to, get out of that mold. But I want to see movement in what I'm painting, not just a flat line.
I told you, more paint.
Well,
Well,
I mean, there's a
I'm working on
difference. You're painting a flat field. I'm painting a path up a hill and around a trail, like, with a hill, I'm sorry, I don't know where it's showing, but like that scene has movement. So it's like if you were painting a smooth moving creek versus waterfalls and, rocks and rapids, it's all very different. So, I'm looking behind Cheryl and I see her little waterfall painting over her shoulder. I'm always
it's not easy to see that.
Cheryl's work in the background there, but you see the movement as it comes down. So it depends on what you're painting. So Darlene, I think if you are painting fields, it's one thing, because some of us have a hard time not making waterfalls and painting flat creeks and flat fields.
I guess, well, maybe not just so much, more depth. Gail's painting with the trees in the water, the one that she just did, is magnificent. There's so much depth to it. You can feel like you're really moving from, front through. I don't know, just so much movement there.
Yeah, we'll get there. I feel like you and a couple other students who, are, I'm not going to say new to painting, but are new to painting seriously and on a regular basis, are kind of like, I want to go from 1 to 20.
Yes.
We just don't get to. But the way we get there faster is by painting a lot.
Yeah, I have your 10 steps to becoming a better painter on my wall right up here next to me.
Which one are you on?
The paint. Well, I think I'm back to maybe paint even more, probably number 4.
All right, go ahead and read that off for everybody. Hey, Darlene, read all 10 real quick.
Okay, paint more, paint even more, paint even more than that, Paint when you don't want to. Paint when you don't feel like it. I think I might have cut off. Paint when you have something to say. Paint when you don't. Paint every day. Keep painting.
Right. And that's how we get better. And I will tell you, I can look around this class and there's definitely painters that are growing and moving so quickly. And I'm not going to blame anybody for not doing those 10 steps, because we all have life. We all have spouses. We all have pets. We all have, reality. And I get that. And we don't all need to move as quickly along, right? It's fine to move at the pace that is acceptable and realistic, depending on your health, depending on whatever's going on in your life. There's times when I don't paint for a week or 2 weeks. And you know what I mean? And that's my only thing besides this darn dog. And so, you know what I mean? It's fine if, I just want students to come in knowing that, if Gail's painting 3 paintings a week and Graham's painting, 2 paintings a week, and Nyla's painting 4 paintings in 1 week and 0 paintings the next week because their grandbabies are there. Like, that's all fine. That's all acceptable. We're all moving forward and we're all getting better and at our own pace. So,
and we don't all have to move in the same direction.
What?
no, absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
Because I see lovely things, but I can't make myself do that. It's just
Right.
not happening. So yes, I would love to learn how to do that just for fun, but it's not always the direction I need to go personally.
100%. Nope. This was fantastic. This was a wonderful conversation that I'm glad we were able to have. So thank you for letting us, and beautiful painting. And again, when you're bold, you are moving forward. When you are brave, I can see it and I really respect it. All right, let's talk about Cheryl's beautiful, the most colorful painting of the group. Oh, too colorful. There it is. Does everybody see that?
No.
Yeah. You turned off your recording.
Yes, he is recording.
We're seeing you, full shot of you.
Oh, that's what I was talking about. That's the best. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Great.
There we go.
3, 2, 1. We see
Wow.
Cheryl's beautiful, colorful painting. Yeah, this is
It doesn't
this
look
painting
like
is happy.
Yes.
Very nice. Very friendly.
I
Very
struggled
wonderful.
with the colors.
Okay. Yeah, greens have always been kind of your thing, but you're getting, these aren't green greens. These are gold greens, which are
Yeah.
a little different for you.
I wanted to do something that wasn't backlit.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
The
can
light
see.
coming forward. And
That's what I would say. It's
Right.
the sun is just over our right shoulder behind us a little bit.
Yeah, more or less. Just right behind where we are somewhere.
All right. Well, tell me a little more about it. Like, where is your, like, what is the focus? Is it the trail moving off into the distance?
I think, well, I wanted to play with that tree, but it's not quite right. No, this whole scene is just the focus. I wanted it to be like a morning with light in spring, because that's where we're moving into.
Okay.
So I wanted to have some blossoms on that tree, which don't look wonderful, but I had
Oh,
to
is that what that is? Okay.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I didn't read those as blossoms. I read that as the cloud showing through the tree.
Well, some of it is, but
Oh, okay.
and then I used just my basic thing that I always start out with. And then I realized that the pink wasn't showing up because it was a purple based blue rather than a green based blue. So then I went back and I painted over it with not manganese. Something shoot. I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, it's something that's just, pardon me?
Cerulean blue?
Yes, that's exactly. So I painted over that and I saw that it was popping more.
Right.
So
yeah, the clouds are kind of my favorite part, plus the golds in the grass are beautiful. Yeah, what I want stronger contrast, especially in like the leaves of the trees, both on the in the background and in the big tree, is you have that dark trunk and then everything gets very, very light
yeah.
up above. And it almost like if we turn this into a black and white, it would almost disappear, which is kind of what we were talking about earlier in class. But a little bit of contrast would really work. And then on the tree on the left, is that where you wanted blossoms in the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pink is so similar to the clouds that I literally thought you were just putting in sky holes.
Well, then I wasn't exactly sure how to pull that off anyway.
Okay.
Because it just didn't show up, but I couldn't make it like a dark color either. So I worked on it for a few hours and then I quit. I painted Monday and Tuesday and then I got tired.
Yeah, there's a wonderful happiness to this, like a lightness and an airiness, and it feels
Good. That's
very
what I was looking for.
It feels good. It does feel like a celebration of light and color, but it doesn't hold together. And I'm gonna say, due to the values.
Yeah.
So, you guys okay if I don't demo today?
Yes. Fine. Are you going to do a Photoshop demo on her painting?
Yes.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Those are always helpful.
Were the blossoms supposed to be pink?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like an apple tree.
And then you could have put a little dark edge on the bottom where the light didn't hit them, and then you would be able to tell they were blossoms.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I wore out and I quit.
No. But you have, I mean, again, your issue when we first met, what we talked about a lot was your greens. And there's so many more greens and there's so much more interest here than you normally have. Like normally your greens are just kind of green, right? But now you've got this gold green, you've got a bunch of different greens going on. So be happy there. And let's see if I can open this in Photoshop. And let me know if you're still seeing it. It's going to take a second. My computer is so slow. Boom.
Okay,
Everybody
now you're in Photoshop.
Okay, so I asked you first, and what I always ask, right, is where's your light source? So I thought it was over our right shoulder looking towards the left, but
It's
now
more over our left shoulder.
I was going to say, because now we have this cast shadow here, and it does appear here. So I don't know exactly how to do a lot of these things in Photoshop, but I just want to see what happens if I do just a couple big shapes and just see if this helps. Take that. I'm going to even cool it down. Let's go to bluey green. To blue. Well, let's do it based on value first. So our lights from over here, we can see a cast shadow here, right?
Yeah.
And if we look throughout the painting, it's almost our only shadow form, right? This feels like it's very directly lit. Like there's literally no shadow within it. We've got a dark trunk, which just means dark brown wood, whatever. Our clouds are top lit with a shadow underneath. Maybe a little bit directional. These trees are slightly left lit with a tiny bit of shadow on the right. So all I would ask is that let's see if I can make a brush that's a little more interesting than that. Don't want a clone tool. I want a paintbrush. There we go. Bigger.
Yeah, that'll work.
Just to show kind of a little darker than I would, hope for.
Yeah.
But you see how all of a sudden now we know the light's coming from the left to the right?
Right.
Even if it's famous last words every class. Wish I knew how to use Photoshop. Don't know why I pay $28 a month for it. I use 3 tools. That's why I never suggest anybody buys Photoshop for my classes, because it's expensive and I don't need hardly any of these thousands of millions of tools.
Most people don't.
Right.
It's just cool to have them.
It seems to be. I don't know. But do you see how that already makes a difference? Like all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So let's even take that down. Let's blow it up, but do the opacity down. And just keep shading it. So what we need to find, for me at least, is the structure first.
Okay.
What is that underlying value pattern? Of course it wouldn't look spotty and silly like this, but what is that design structure, and give us form? So what this painting felt like is just really flat. Again, beautiful colors, beautiful ideas. But even if we're doing a face-lit painting, it still is going to have some shadows. It doesn't have to be as big as I just made it. It could have been, little tiny shadows on the right side or wherever. Let's go to the clouds.
I was trying to work some others in there in the middle, for depth in the tree, but it didn't. As soon as I went over with something else, it disappeared. So
yeah, I kind of want to challenge you to do the same thing as Diane, is just to use a little more opacity with your opaque paints. I feel like you're adding, and I feel like sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Sometimes it almost feels like a watercolor painting, which is a fine way to start an acrylic painting, but then come back in and start actually using some paint.
Okay.
And build it up and figure out, again, where's my light source? Where's my, so I'm not going to keep going, but what I would do is do the exact same light patterning. You see how we have a light side coming over our left shoulder? Light patterning. I would do the same things to the clouds. Shadows on the right side, shadows on the right side. And that just makes everything live in the same world and gives form to what was otherwise just beautiful colors, but flat.
Yeah.
Could you do one cloud to do what you were just talking about?
Let's see if I can.
And I don't think it needs to be as dark as what Michael did either, because you've got a high.
Oh, not at all. Yeah.
That really light green that you had at the very end would just be a good example.
So yeah, I'm just grabbing, like, let's just say that mauve color here. Bring it up. I just darken that a touch. Grab a brush. Too tiny, won't see it. Too big. And imagine the colors were right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it even a little bluer. Right, that's really extreme. But again, I'm just thinking of the shadows
Just get the idea.
on the side of the shadow side.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry it's so sloppy and
No, that's
totally
cool.
done, but does that make sense?
Yeah.
Again, squint
Yep.
squint your eyes at it, and
Yeah.
like I can even bring some of those shadows into the darks in here. And
How about getting a reference photo of a cherry tree in blooming cherry tree in the sunlight?
Yeah, I could go and find one. It's just
Why not? You wore out.
lived around them so long, I didn't go and look for one.
yeah, I mean, I could take photos all day long. They're just part of my dog walk now is just how beautiful the walk smells. It's amazing.
As if you have allergies.
Yeah.
Allergies are driving me nuts.
Yeah, my eyes are itchy, but I like the smell.
I want napalm.
So you guys get it how I'm just giving it
Yeah.
form. Again, such a lousy job. I apologize. This is so silly.
Now, talk to me just a little bit about in the grasses,
Uh-huh.
in this grass on the right-hand side, about how is that what I would do, is take that
Whatever
color?
color. I mean, I
Yes.
should have chose from the grasses and darkened them or whatever. So let's just
Yeah.
grab that. Take that and darken it. It's just a slightly darker, cooler version generally of the thing. So
But
a
I don't know
shadow,
where to put them.
the shadow side.
Yeah. Just randomly?
No, not at all randomly, just on the shadow side. So if the light's coming from over here, the
Yeah.
shadow's on the opposite side.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to work them into the grasses.
I don't know what to say about that. Like, I don't understand what you mean. Like, so if it's tall grasses, right, standing,
Yeah.
and then the light's coming from here, then this is the shadow side,
Right.
right, where it hits the path.
Right. That part
So
I
it's just
understand.
wherever the light, the opposite of the light. I don't mean to sound rude or anything, but I don't know how to answer it.
Those light strokes on the right, the lower right, there's some light strokes. If right along the right side of one or two of those, you put a darker version of it, it would be the shadow side of each of those long
But
stalks.
it wouldn't have to be every one. It would just be.
No, just once in a while. Just
yeah.
And I find
Because
that
those, all that grass is in there with my nasty brush that I love to use for trees, and so I wasn't sure how to get it in there.
So I want you to start doing is thinking of like this bank of grass, this whole area, as a form. Let's see if I can just draw it real quick. Maybe I'm just curious because I do feel like you and I have had a bit of a communication breakdown from time to time. So what if, let's pick a smaller size, and we just need to think of it as a structure.
Okay.
So this is the wall of the grass, right? And then it goes up. This is the wall of the grass, right? As it's meeting
the
path and the grass, right? And then it has a top.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just thinking about it very structurally.
Okay.
Okay. So then we got to think of it as a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a lesson I've never taught.
It's fascinating.
Effective.
I like that.
Huh. Yeah, I never thought to teach it like this.
That is
Thanks.
very helpful.
It is. It's incredible.
Oh, Cheryl, you torture me.
You're
I
fine.
I understand this part.
Okay, so now we have, let's go back to color. Now we have shadow side, right, of these grasses. The light's coming from over here. I'm gonna use blue, but the sun is
all right.
And the octopus, they're all coming from this side.
Yeah.
Shadow side. This is a sun side because it's hitting the sun. And you did that. You knew that, right? But let's just say each one of these has little micro boxes.
Okay.
Shadows, right? That are facing away, facing away. So then this area is getting more light on top, and this light's getting in between light. Callie, my dog's just like, it's noon, we're late. Right? So it's so interesting. I've actually never thought about it physically this way, but this is kind of how I see it. Is in structures going back. So I keep thinking that one of you guys is going to speak up and tell me some better way to think of this.
Not at all. It's brilliant.
No, it's
That's fabulous.
So I think
but you also have to learn how to do is break it up even to smaller pieces than that.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
I don't
you see how it gets bigger.
Lines.
Yeah, and you have to.
Either do I don't see it in lines, but I do see it in lines. So I see it in overlapping shapes. And you guys know I hate painting straight lines and I hate painting buildings. I don't know if that last bunch of things was helpful, but yeah, that's how I see it. And so again, box.
I think that's a huge transition, seeing things as forms, bigger forms.
I wonder if that wouldn't be an exercise to take a very simplistic landscape and treat it as rectangles and circles and ovals.
Right.
And shade them accordingly.
I think it would be an amazing exercise.
And the meadow is a bunch of littler, skinnier, more rectilinear boxes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think it would be a cool exercise to do is
up on end. Boxes up on end in the meadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, again, to take something like Cheryl's painting or even, anybody's work, a master painting, out of the gallery, and just say, figure it out in 3 values in simple shapes.
Yeah.
of light and value.
It's a bit like a notan, really, isn't it? But you're doing it with color.
But geometric shapes.
Yes, yes.
And this is overly simplified. Of course, these clouds aren't as light as the grasses that Cheryl painted. But yeah, that's a.
And somebody mentioned, Cheryl, to look at a blooming apple tree. I just looked up some on Pinterest, and none of them have any green on them. They're all pink.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the blossoms become before the
leaves.
Yeah,
So,
this tree is a monster now.
Yes, looks like he's growling.
Well, I did notice that when you were on camera before, Michael, that you were growing two little horns off of your forehead. If you look at your hair, they've turned into two little curled up horns.
Uh-oh.
I can only hide it for so long.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, enough. But yeah, this will be a good exercise. Thank you. I literally have never thought to teach perspective in the landscape this way, but that would be really interesting. So thank you, Cheryl. Your torture is paying off. Should I save it?
No.
All right, cool. So you understood, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
So the question is, are you going to paint over this one, or are you going to
I was thinking about maybe painting over this one and see what I could do with it. It's going to be more opaque. I was trying to keep glazing in mind because that's what we were talking about before, but I might go over this and give it another shot.
Okay.
Okay, well, Alicia's not here, but we still have two more to get through. But I also would love to give you guys homework.
Oh yeah.
And we're running out of time, and the dog is I don't know if you can hear her scratching on the door. So Brett, fun experiment, kept it dark, which we talked about in the Thursday meeting, and is very moody. Got some really beautiful brush strokes, and we talked a little bit about the hill slanting down. Are you guys seeing the Padlet?
Yeah.
Isn't it moody and interesting? Like, it's just so fun to see how they're all ending up so differently. I would love to think or hear what your thoughts are, but my instinct is that it's if we did it as a black and white, it's going to be all very dark. But if that maybe was your intention.
Yeah, the clouds on top are driving me batty. They're going to get fixed, but I was working on it yesterday, so that's there. And also, when you talk Wednesday, we talked about doing it, and you said, if I glaze it, it's going to come out dark. And actually, I liked it that way. I have a tendency to go dark anyway, but it kind of spoke to me, and I decided to give it a try. And it kind of spoke to me because I was originally just going to do it opaquely on top of it.
Right. Yeah.
And so it kind of became intentional to a certain extent. I've done two versions. I didn't post the other one, but I was actually doing a practice version before I got to this one. And I kind of, that was a lot simpler. And I gave it the glaze first, and I kind of liked how it turned out.
Or did I lose
everybody? It was a little dark side, but this has kind of got that winter feel, cold.
Yeah, it definitely feels cold and heavy, and winter-like is a great way to say it.
Very damp.
And I just kind of went that direction. So it was more emotional than me. It was kind of, it's kind of in tune with some of my moods right now. So
that sucks.
No, that's just it's. The weather's been shitty, and I've had other stuff going on. But I
like it. Like, I really do. And again, there is harmony. I mean, it's almost too much harmony. Like, it's squinting your eyes,
It needs some highlights.
It really kind of disappears.
I liked how the blue actually caused the vibration. There's probably subtle, but
exactly.
Looking at it, the first version before I like I said, that big cloud. Oh. Yeah, so that big cloud up there. So I'm thinking I'm going to make another run at the. I looked at it in black and white, and really wasn't that dark to me.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But also that cloud up there sucks. So you can see that. You can see I was starting to mess with it, and I was starting to make mistakes. So I says I'm going to back off and then think about it. But I'm going back after that one and then reglaze the sky. I'm going to lighten everything up a touch and then reglaze the sky.
But
acrylic or oil?
Except for that dark cloud, I absolutely love it. I love the field, all the colors in the field, and I love the bit of blue sky with the clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say up to here, I like it. Like this bottom 2/3.
Yeah, like I said, I was looking at it earlier today. It says, up to there, I'm pretty happy with it. I like to put a couple more little highlights into it, but no, I'm going to come back and redo that part, and I think I can do it pretty surgically now because I've kind of got a feel for that. So, and then I can kind of pull it all together, and I'd like to give the sky one more run, like I say, but. No, this one was very different for me. I just did a whole bunch of things I don't normally do, and it's got a different feel to it.
It really does. There's things I absolutely kind of really like. Like I'm like, how is he doing these areas? How is he doing this? And then basically the top third. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate it. It's just it's messy, and it feels like the ground is being repeated up above, and it just doesn't feel good. But this part down here really does. I think so far I've said it to you, Cheryl and Diane, is that I would like you guys to use your opaque or your acrylics thicker. Like this is fine. This is a great stage, and it's just like us oil painters that are glazing in, and then there's areas that can be touched up and fixed. Let's go ahead and use some paint. Let's, you know what I mean, add some thickness, some opacity to it. Like if you just came through and covered this sky with intentional colors, I think it'd be really interesting, really designful. So I mean that goes for, I think, across the board. I think every one of us, this will be our next challenge. Again, it's partly me. I'm teaching you guys how to glaze. I'm teaching you guys how to use transparent colors, which are wonderful. But then what do we do with them, and how do we cover them? So, yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I was going to reglaze again. I may come in and just paint.
No, don't glaze. You're only going to get darker.
I was going to lighten it up first. I was going to lighten it up first, then glaze on top of that.
Well, yeah, please do that, and then remove this hair.
Now that's actually a mark.
Oh.
Like I say, I was getting to the end there, and I just backed off. I says, all I'm going to do is make it worse, and I'm going to come back and hit it again.
I know that feeling.
So, like I said, that whole thing's going to change.
All right, gang.
I was thinking about redrawing the sky again. So
it looks like snow clouds.
It really does. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. It feels like that weather before snow.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was feeling about it. I was going, it's just like, something's coming in.
Yeah, that's great. Brown clouds can be beautiful, but they're difficult.
Yeah, I learned that.
Especially when their value is as close to the ground as it is. I've dealt with that a lot in my paintings because I love painting brownish clouds, even though they, you don't see them too much, hopefully. But yeah, it's a difficult. I would love for you to take a black and white photo of this to share it with us, and then do what you're talking about, and cover it and do what you need to do, and then just to see, because I feel like value-wise we need to jump, and I've got about 2 more minutes before this dog starts tearing my studio apart.
I'll post the black and white right now. I can do that. I just was looking at it.
The hard edge on a cloud always makes it feel like too much of a 3D thing and less like a cloud. They're
Right.
You have a lot of hard edges on the clouds.
Yeah, I always like to remind myself how, clouds are soft and aloft and rocks are hard and grounded.
That's a pretty painting.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you. I was working on it all week. No, this is really good, Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
I love the contrast. I love the fact that these warms up front, these highlights, are not that warm. Like, they feel like they could exist in this color scheme. I think they could be a touch purpler, a touch cooler, because they are a blonde white grass.
Yeah.
So they're going to be basically they're the tofu of plant life when it, so they're going to take on the color and the flavor of everything that's around them.
But they have the feeling of sunlight coming through on a cloudy day.
Yeah, it really does. It really. Yeah, they probably, unless you had a strong little glimmer of light, they probably wouldn't quite be this bright. And again, Beverly, I feel really badly. I'm rushing. My dog is going to freak out if I don't leave. She's, and I'll see you tomorrow, right?
You're not going to see the other picture.
Oh, well, I want to. My dog doesn't want me to.
Wow.
That's totally different.
It's so fun to see this and then Brett's painting right before it. Like how dark and gloomy and moody and oh man, Beverly.
That is gorgeous.
This one.
Yeah, what are you doing? None of us are here. None of us are visiting this place right now.
That's
And
amazing.
we're all sad about it.
Very beautiful.
Exactly.
The
Yeah, two
detail-
of my best friends, one are in Cabo and one are in Hawaii, right after the big storms, and they're sending the most beautiful sunset photos of Hawaii right now.
Mm. That is
But the
gorgeous
streets are
painting.
covered in mud after all the flooding and everything.
Oh
But
dear.
beautiful, Beverly. This is
Yes.
really, really nice.
Good.
That's gorgeous. I need an
And-
umbrella drink.
Yeah, this whole transition.
It's just beautiful.
So I mean, I've painted in Hawaii, I've painted in Mexico, I've painted in a lot of tropical areas with translucent waters, and I've never done this. This is so nice.
That's incredible. And the
Look at that.
beach.
Yeah, look at the purple,
Yeah.
purple blue, to the greens, to the
Beautiful.
yellows, to the green down here. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Beverly,
Mhm.
okay, you got to
nice.
describe this. How did this come to be?
Come back.
I did a notan of it yonks ago, back in the autumn, and this was a beach in Scotland. I've got rid of them all. This was a beach in Scotland, and it's like the tropics when the weather's good. And
Yeah, I
instead
would
of
have
being-
never guessed this was Scotland.
No.
Never in a million years.
When it's hot, it's absolutely stunning, and nobody's there. It's just wonderful.
Wow.
Very lucky.
That is.
Well, it's because the sun goes down, reflects off the beach, and goes right up their kilts.
Where in Scotland is this?
Sorry, it's off on a little island off the west coast of Scotland.
And the
In
water is ice cold.
What's it called?
it's
'Cause I've
really-
been to Scotland, but I have no idea.
The island is called Colonsay, and it's very pretty, very small, and it's just glorious in the right weather. But it does tend to rain most of the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I can. Well, I was gonna say I can leave you guys. My dog literally is gonna tear my
No, better
studio
go.
apart. She's got her tail up. Like I might have a disaster here in a
Uh-oh.
second.
Right.
She's sniffing everywhere and freaking
Oh,
out. So
dear.
Trying to find
Okay.
a
anyways,
go.
Beverly, I'm going to say now this is my new favorite of yours. This
Yeah.
is so lovely. This is a painting I would love to
Wow.
have hanging in my house just to remind me.
Oh,
That's
This
what
is
needs to be framed.
beautiful.
that's very kind.
No,
Okay,
absolutely.
well,
It's this transition is something I could share some photos or paintings that I did when I was in Greece, and I chased this transition so many times,
it's
and I
tricky,
never
isn't
got
it?
it. It is difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah, really
that
nice.
is-
And then
that is
the fact that you made the sky so dark.
Yes, that's a
And
bit of a
so-
mistake. The very dark in the middle looks a bit weird. I think perhaps I should redo the sky. I don't know, because it's very dark right in the middle.
Yeah, but
and
it kind of happens like that sometimes. I mean, I don't know about right in the middle, but
yeah, it does, because there are clouds, sort of atmospheric, moisture. So it
Right.
just looks a bit weird.
Yeah, so this is something we'll talk about next week as well, is when the sky is ultimate clean atmosphere, like, you know what I mean? It's been stormy or, whatever, but all of a sudden it just clears out.
Yeah.
Sometimes the sky is this brilliant, dark, vibrant blue. And, as a value-based painter, meaning lights and darks again, like I don't understand it, like how to paint it because it's dark. But at the same time, it's ultimately vibrant and brilliant. So that's where like just being value only based falls apart.
Yeah.
Right. So then you need to deal with chroma, then you need to deal with temperature. And so my thought would be like, well, then the sky is so vibrant and bright, I need to make it warm, but that's not true.
No.
Because it's the dome, the top dome of the sky.
Yeah.
I'd say that Regini and Graham are better at this than I am at times of just painting the actual color or the vibrancy of the color. And that's, again, all these things that we work towards and are continuing to work towards, because I've just spent, last 20 years working on values and design. And now I need to go, okay, but how do I bring in vibrancy? How do I bring in radiance? How do I bring in all these colors? And that's what's so depressing and so wonderful about painting, is that it never ends. It's a constant pursuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, as you guys know, you guys are wonderful. I feel very honored to get to spend this morning with you and now afternoon. My dog thinks you're all the devil.
Yeah. Homework.
And homework.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post it to you because I really have to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Your homework is gonna be a 2-week long homework. So it's gonna be the filling out the form and designing with thumbnail and a final painting.
Right. That's great.
Thank
you. But I will lay that out. Okay. Yeah. I just don't want to clean up dog poop. I gotta go.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.